forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana. And these gifts are gifts you will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield. And if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the Lemon Lavender Collection. Pampering spa day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season. And you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Whether you're building a single roof or a successful roofing business, roofing contractors like you need the right tools for the job, and software is no exception. Service Titan is on a mission to be the most powerful software platform for the trades, with purpose-built technology proven to maximize revenue, streamline operations, and deliver 5-star customer experiences. We are taking roofing companies like yours to the next level and beyond. Service Titan. We are built for this. See what we can do for roofers at servicetitan.com.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BP, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
This is The Fan Morning Show with KB, JB, and Jeff.
Rivers goes out of the gun, ball on the left hash. 3 receivers go to the right side. Here's a flag on the play. Rivers has a free shot, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! In the back of the end zone, it's Alec Pierce, and the play covers 20 yards to the house. And the Colts score a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. 5 wide, 3 go to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Quarterback backs to throw, plants, looking, throws over the middle into the end zone. He's got a man for a touchdown. That's DeMarcus Robinson. And just like that, San Francisco has answered the touchdown by the Colts. Amir Abdul on the return for the Colts. Rumbling across the 25. He may have lost the ball. It's available inside the 30. There's a penalty on the play. San Francisco's celebrating a recovery. It is 2nd and goal at the 2 following the timeout. San Francisco going left to right. Shotgun snap for Purdy. 5-step drop. Throws right side of the goal line. Touchdown. That's Christian McCaffrey. He finds the end zone on a 2-yard pass from Purdy. 4-down lineman for San Francisco. Rivers out of the gun. Backs the pass. He's got time. He throws up into the end zone. And it's touchdown. Pierce again. Touchdown. Number 2 tonight for Alec Pierce. And it covers 16 yards to the house.
Thought he was on fire all game. He managed the offense at the line of scrimmage, did some no-huddle stuff with them, getting us down to the right place. Threw it to the right spots every time.
Unbalanced line to the right side. They fake it to nobody. Purdy rolling to his right, scanning, looking. He's at the 15-yard line, throws across his body into the end zone, and that is a catch for a touchdown, and that is George Kittle, the tight end. Purdy goes out of the gun. 2 receivers go to the right side. Shotgun snap for the quarterback. Here comes the rush by the Colts. He throws left flat, wide open, touchdown. Rivers, shotgun snap, quick throw, and it's picked off. Intercepted by D. Winters, and he's going to go. He's got nobody in front of him. Down the right sideline, he's going to score. It's going to be a pick 6 by D. Winters. And that is going to give San Francisco 47 points. And the defense gets involved in the scoring party.
Obviously, we got to find ways to win, especially in November and December. That's where you win games, and that's where you make it the playoffs. So we got to do a better job, and I have to do a better job of that.
I'm torn of how to express it because it's been a blast. It's been a blast to prepare and to go so you can get ready and go out there and warm up and do all that with these guys again. But again, the name of the game is not, go have a good time. It's to help find a way to lead your team to win. And we've come up short here these first 2.
Two very different movies continue to play out as we end the 2025 Colts season. 11 straight years without a home playoff game. If I were the decision makers over there on West 56th Street, that would be a pretty hard one to ignore, not only just from a fandom standpoint, but also from a financial standpoint. Good Tuesday morning to you. We'll dissect it all here coming up. This will be our final show until Friday. Caleb Zuber, great work there on the intro. Much appreciative. I know it was a long night for all parties involved. How about a little Christmas gift here to start. And Caleb, I guess we'll just bet on people showing integrity on this Tuesday morning. I'd love if we could give away a 4-pack of tickets here, maybe to dad with daughter or daughters plurally. James Boyd, the number 1 ranked UConn Huskies inside of Hinkle Fieldhouse coming up on Sunday. Ashlyn Shade, among others. Virginia Ariema and company in the building. So how about a 4-pack? Butler, UConn women. Again, that is the number 1 ranked team in all the land, taking on Austin Parkinson bunch coming up. That's Sunday, 4 o'clock. So fast fingers, Caleb, 317-239-1070. If you're a dad and you've forgotten gifts maybe for your daughter or daughters, plurally. How about that right there? Nice little start to this Tuesday. James, good morning.
I'm doing good. I will say, speaking of birthdays and gifts and the holidays, so I found out talking to my parents, you all, that my twin sister got a birthday dinner out of them maybe a couple of days ago, talking to my dad, and he's like, yeah, we took your sister out to dinner. We didn't do anything for her 30th birthday, you know. I was like, what are you talking about? Our birthday was December 5th. This was 2 weeks ago. So she's got a free meal out of them. So, yeah, to, I guess, the other parents out there who might have forgotten, here's your chance to not have to pay up yourself.
Looks like somebody's tally marking a little bit here on the Boyd family.
Oh, yeah.
And
here. Look, when my sister goes out to eat, she ain't going to no McDonald's. You know, she's going somewhere where you got to get a reservation in.
Well, sounds like she was Brock Purdy against the Colts defense last night.
Yeah, that is true.
2 different movies, James. And I thought the Phillip Rivers quote, and we'll maybe expand on that quote here throughout the morning, but my hand is raised. I didn't think Phillip Rivers had that in him last night. He showed me a lot more than I expected, particularly early in that game. That second touchdown to Alec Pierce, just I'm still in awe of watching that ball get to Alec Pierce for the score. But defensively, just an utterly horrific effort. I thought the game really turned on the Amir Abdullah kick return. It just seemed like, I don't know, for some reason that just sucks so much life out of what was, a great start. And now here we are, once again eliminated from the division, once again eliminated from the AFC South with multiple games left in the season. That's not lost on me either. Happened last year with 3 games left. It's happening this year with 2 games left. And I don't even know if I should even bring up playoff scenarios, but those are kind of my overall thoughts here on this Tuesday morning.
Yeah, that was just another game that's par for the course for this team over the last few years. They do not win these types of games. And it's frustrating because you can look at a number of things. I think this year, the excuse, and it's a valid one to a degree, would be that you had a lot of key injuries to key players. But at the same time, to go out there and know your season's on the line essentially last night and have that sort of defensive performance is inexcusable. And trying to get a decent answer from anybody about why that happened, why these things continue to happen, whether it's the offense not showing up one day or the defense not showing up someday, who cares at this point? It feels like you said when we opened the show, there's a lot of questions for a lot of the bigger parties to answer because this core of players that you have don't win in these moments.
Yeah, and when you say core, it extends much more to just, necessarily the people at the top. I mean, obviously they are at the top, but these are second and third contract guys.
That's what I meant.
Captains of your football team that really have had little changeover over the years. And yes, when these games do arise, and that's where, the Shane Steichen element, for example, you have to separate. Yes, offensive game plan last night and the ability to score 27 points, brilliant. But you're also the head coach of the football team. And when you consider all facets of the game, there's just too much there that continue to fail in the critical junctures of the season. And, again, there's no better example of a team overcoming injuries than that team on the visiting sideline last night. The defense, again, just an absolute abomination. The fact that they didn't encounter their first third down until the third drive of the game, and that was because of a drop, was just unbelievable. Balance like none other. I think 2 plays that really frustrated me defensively, James, were in the second half. You obviously get your doors blown off in the first half defensively. The first play of the second half, boom, Kittle down the seam. It's like that dude torched you in the first half. I would have thought that key would be, written in whatever, Times New Roman 72 font on the old halftime board. And then how about the third and I believe it was 8 or 9 touchdown to Christian McCaffrey? there on what looked to be a blown assignment. Like,
Yeah.
if you, that was not McCaffrey being a lead athlete. That was not Christian McCaffrey being,
Nope.
a player that, will likely hear his name in Canton one day. That blown assignment, like, him, whatever, stopping Jermaine Pratt in his tracks or Zaire Franklin in his tracks, that's obviously going to happen. But to have those mental breakdowns in the second half after you just got your ass kicked for the first 30 minutes of the game, that to me was just a cherry on top for just such a pathetic defensive effort. I don't care if it was run defense. I don't care if it was trying to touch Brock Purdy. One quarterback hit the entire game on him. Whatever San Francisco wanted to do, they did.
Going back to the Christian McCaffrey receiving touchdown, to highlight how bad the defense was, Kevin, they scored twice on that drive. Because the play before, Jake Tongas, their other tight end, makes a great catch. They don't challenge it. And we're all in the press box like, wait a second, that's a catch. And I couldn't believe that Kyle Shanahan did not throw the challenge flag and didn't go to bat for his guy, because as they showed on the broadcast, which I had pulled up on my laptop, it was clearly 2 feet in, toe tap, toe drag swag, as they call it, and it's a touchdown. And they're so confident in their offense that they're like, you know what? We don't even want to waste the opportunity of getting the flag out of our pocket.
James,
we'll just call it again and score again.
I just want to jump here because that is what I was saying to myself last night. My dad and I were talking. That's exactly what I said. They didn't even worry about challenging it because that's how easy it was. It's 3rd and goal from, 10 yards out. Right after that, they're like, yeah, we'll just score in the next play anyway. It's no worries. They'll take more time off the clock. We'll get out of here quicker. It's unbelievable.
It's so true. The ease at which they operated last night stood out to me. It was ho-hum. And again, for those that have not been following the 49ers religiously this year, Christian McCaffrey has not looked like that this season. He has not run the football anywhere close to the level that he ran it last night. They're without their number one wideout. And, I'm looking at a Colts defense. Unless I'm missing something, I don't see any injuries in that front seven. And Brock Purdy could have played he seemingly played with a red jersey on.
Yeah,
yesterday.
The one play they actually did make, Latu with the strip sack. Of course, George Kittle catches the fumble and still gains 3 yards. But nevertheless, that's not enough for an entire 60-minute game.
No, absolutely not. So again, official elimination from the AFC South happened last night for the Colts. That is now 11 straight seasons without winning a division that, this year doesn't fall into this category, but has clearly been the easiest division in the AFC over the last, decade plus now. I guess at some point today, I can't even get myself to stomach what the playoff situation looks like. The Colts will have a quick turnaround here, short week. They did get a little banged up last night, a couple of injuries certainly throughout the game. It'll be Colts and Jags coming up on Sunday. So we'll get to all of it. And I just, big picture thought for me, James, when we've discussed it in recent days, recent weeks, I have said that I don't get the impression internally that the powers that be are worried. But sitting there watching last night, if we know one thing about Jim Irsay, he was really bothered when his team got embarrassed in primetime. This team doesn't show up in primetime very much. I mean, it's been 3 years since they had a Monday Night Football game.
I told y'all they had me staying up, burning the midnight oil for this. But
continue. Last night, they were embarrassed.
Yes.
In primetime. And what's the trickle-down effect now to his daughters? Do his daughters feel the same way? Did there need to be one of those efforts to get them to say, you know what, that Sauce Gardner trade, yeah, we shouldn't have green-lighted that. Is any of that there? And just take Chris Bauer's words 11 months ago. I mean, I'm pretty sure, James, the quote was, we're not close. 8-9 is not close enough. Well, where are they right now?
They're on the verge of going 8-9 after being 8-2
and staring at the biggest collapses the NFL's seen in over a decade. So we'll get to all of it here on this Tuesday morning. Late travel back for the Pacers. So Rick Carlisle texted me about 3:30 something in the morning last night, like, hey, can we just push the next week. Pacers actually valiant effort until the fourth quarter. For those looking for entertaining losses, you got one in Boston last night. Pacers will play tonight inside of Gainbridge Fieldhouse with the Bucks. So we'll hit on that here on the morning check down. A little bit of college hoops as well on this Tuesday morning. We'll certainly get to as many calls and text messages as we can throughout this Tuesday morning. Safe travels, everybody out there on this Christmas Eve. It is it's balmy. I was sweating by the time I got to the car this morning.
I'll take it, honestly.
Yeah. Boy, you go shorts and a T-shirt here coming up on this Tuesday. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, Caleb Zuber coming at you.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, but super sure. Coming soon.
Don't mess up the ring. Go to Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel. They only sell natural diamonds, hand-selected at competitive prices. Mention JMV for $500 off your engagement ring through Christmas Eve.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at FamilyHVAC.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed, or your money back. No matter how many times you failed in the past, this hypnosis is guaranteed to work.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Only $59.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Hypnosis Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss hypnosis 5:30 p.m. Stop smoking hypnosis at 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss hypnosis 11 a.m. Stop smoking hypnosis 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Hey, it's Tyrese Halliburton. I care about Indiana and the people who live here. We look out for each other, and sometimes that means stepping up in ways we don't always think about. Saying yes to organ donation, that's one of those ways. For real, just one organ donor can save 8 lives. That means your yes could give someone more time with family, more experiences with loved ones, more life. When you say yes to organ donation, you have the power to save lives.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. If you're planning to propose this holiday, we're
ready to make creating your engagement ring a warm, welcoming experience. At Shane Company, we're all about your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Explore the widest selection of diamonds and ring settings ready for you to see in person. Or visit us at shaneco.com. You'll have your ring in days, not weeks. Our friendly jewelry consultants don't work on commission. There's never any pressure, just perfect proposals. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The Morning Checkdown on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, the final score last night, 48-27 inside of Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts get absolutely dominated on the defensive side of the ball. Special teams, an abomination as well. Kick return and kick coverage specifically. On that, this was Shane Steichen fielding one from James Boyd afterwards.
Shane, how do you explain that defensive performance given the stakes of this game?
Yeah, we got to be better. That starts with me. We got to be better. Bottom line, we can't give up that many yards. They scored a lot of points, went up and down the field. We got to get that cleaned up in a hurry. Our defense played great last week, and then this week, we got to be better. And it starts with me. Bottom line.
The first 8 San Francisco drives of the game yesterday, James. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Field goal. Missed field goal off the crossbar from 64 yards. Come back in the third quarter. Touchdown, field goal, touchdown.
So the only thing that stopped them really was the crossbar. Other than that, they would have kept scoring.
The loudest crossbar in the NFL. I swear. When that upright's been smoked this year, I swear it's the loudest. Alec Pierce sets a positive. Blake Groupie, and you got it. Again, my hand is raised. Phillip Rivers, I did not know you had that in you. Hand is raised.
He gave them enough. He gave them enough, in my opinion. I'm not trying to get up here and give you any, consolation prizes, but the dude played well enough, not just for his age, but for any quarterback in the league to go out there and win that game.
I think that's a key ingredient. You got to be careful to grade him on a scale, and it's like, no, that first quarter, that dude was just balling.
Yeah.
Just NFL quarterback balling out there. The Colts eliminated from the AFC South for the 11th straight year. Yes, they can still make the playoffs at some point today. I don't know when it'll be. I'll try to somehow share how that is possible, but I just don't have the gumption to do it here at 7:21 in the morning.
We're alive, Kevin.
Yeah, exactly. Need strength of victory. Is that?
Oh gosh,
is that correct? Is that what we got to crunch at some point?
I was gonna say victory in this market.
Yeah, well, I guess it's got to be victories plural before strength of victory even happens. So, that probably is not going to happen. Pacers lose last night in Boston, 103-95. They actually really an impressive first half. And then the second half, it really got away from them. Only 13 points in the fourth quarter of that one. It is a back-to-back. It's Miles Turner and the Bucks. It's actually a pick'em game tonight. Again, no Giannis. He's been out now for a couple of weeks, so we will see how Miles Turner gets the old Christmas reaction from Pacers fans tonight inside of Gamebridge Fieldhouse. College hoops yesterday. I had Rosie Bone and Max Bone at Hinkle. And let me tell you, I asked you if New Jersey Institute of Technology, if we could give them a competitive game. James Boyd, I'm thinking that we maybe could have given them a competitive game.
Stop this. I don't even know what the final score was. Can you hit me with that?
101-52.
Ooh, baby.
It was 17-0. They go missed free throw, missed field free throw. So you get free tacos before they've even scored a point in the game.
All right, in that regard, I think I split the free throws.
Another dude went to the line, and he missed his first. I was rooting for him to hit the second. I'm like, I can't. This is too much embarrassment for me. It's 17. I mean, Rosie Bowen's on cloud 9. She thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. It's 17-0.
There's nothing better than Rosie Bowen praying on somebody's downfall. How about
seeing
it?
your kids' reaction if they get on the Jumbotron at a sporting event, that's one of the ultimate highs. I didn't know it was possible, but Rosie was thrilled yesterday. When she got up there, ran into listener Michael at halftime, his 3 boys. Good to chat with him. So Hinkle afternoon, very nice for the Bulldogs. Pretty solid non-conference for them. And Indiana over Siena last night. It was kind of a sneaky Siena team record-wise. So nice work from Darren DeVries and company before Christmas.
Boy, when you said sneaky, I was like, do they have a bunch of 6'1" white guys, or are they actually?
Well, Jerry McNamara is their coach. Yeah. Brock Purdy in the open field.
They got moxie and spunk.
Yeah, Alec Pierce down the sideline. 77-53 for the Hoosiers. So, again, it'll be quiet now from a college basketball standpoint with Christmas here. Purdue next in action on Monday, Butler next in action on Tuesday, and it's a long break for Darren DeVries and company. Nothing until a week from Sunday, IU and Washington. James, news item-wise, I really don't have much else for you. I saw Eugene Hilton in the transfer portal there, T.Y.'s son. So was at Wisconsin his first year, so I don't think officially you can go in the portal, but I saw that report yesterday. Anything else for you as the Colts transition to a short week?
Not on that front. Really just,
I guess,
trying to digest what we saw last night. And
DK Metcalf, is that appeal going to bring it down to 1 game? Is that the thought? 2 games? Or do you think that'll hold it?
I think he's trying to get it appealed to a point where he doesn't get suspended. I guess he reported that fan that he got into it with, he previously told security about, which I'm thinking that guy came from Seattle all the way there.
Yeah, we're in a big he said, she said
A lot
thing.
of that stuff isn't adding up to me. But bottom line is, I think it'll be upheld at that point. You cannot put your hands on a fan and expect that to go well for you. The crazy part about that is, if he does have the suspension upheld, it will void, I think, $40 million is guaranteed in his contract. He could still get it if he gets the certain threshold for the money, but the guaranteed part of it is gone now if he gets suspended. So that's a very costly decision that he just made.
And again, we're still deciding the AFC North winner. We've decided pretty much everything in the AFC at this point, but Pittsburgh, Baltimore, that is still left to be decided there. Who will be the, I think it's in all likelihood the 4 seed there, and the AFC North rep. All right, coming up on the other side, much more from last night. What do you make of the Colts' performance? What do you make of Phillip Rivers? We'll hit it all next. It's a Fan Morning Show here on a Tuesday.
Celebrate Christmas with an NBA doubleheader. The coverage begins at 11:30 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, Colts fans, Crown Royal is a proud partner of the Indianapolis Colts, and this season it's not game day without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. Whether you're at the tailgate, in the stands, or watching from home, Crown Royal is the reason and the reward for coming together. Grab a glass with the Crown Royal rig at a stadium near you, because we'll be sharing the generous spirit with fans across the country. Crown Royal, fueling game day with a generous spirit. Visit www.crownroyal.com/Royal Rig for more on the Crown Royal Rig Tour. Please drink responsibly.
It happens every holiday. Food comas, piles of wrapping paper, Uncle Harold's asleep in the recliner. It's only $5.45. But then, Cousin John rolls in with holiday scratch-offs from the Hoosier Lottery. Starting at just $1, they're the perfect gift for making the most of the one time of year all 30 cousins are gathered together in one living room. Unwrap instant fun with holiday scratch-offs. Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Must be 18 or older to play. Gift responsibly.
Christmas is just around the corner, and if you still have gifts to buy, the best place to do that is Macy's Great Gift Sale. Get amazing deals on last-minute gifts like fine jewelry and fragrance sets, boxed and ready to give. And everything from designer bags to Nespresso coffee makers at 30 to 60% off. Plus, your Macy's is the most festive place this holiday, so come in and find everything left on your list all in one place. The Great Gift Sale ends Wednesday at Macy's. Savings off select prices. Exclusions apply.
JMV here, and guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you had done it sooner. Now you can take the TRT test for free at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. The place for guys to go is Center Gen X and Low T Center for TRT. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The testosterone is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. Get in now now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. Guys, you're going to wish you had started TRT sooner. Don't you just want to know your level? Find out with the free TRT test at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Center Gen X and Low T Center. Get that free T test today. fixmylowt.com.
This is Chris with Absolute Comfort. We just want to thank you and your family for business that you've passed to us this year. Our families appreciate everything that you do for us, and we just want to let you know that if you have needs for your man cave or your she shed or whatever the thing is for a family member that you love, we just ask that you give us a call, and we've got some different ideas for you. Have a Merry Christmas.
Absolute Comfort is your Mitsubishi Electric Elite ductless pro dealer.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to the Fan Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We'll look into that. Obviously, we got to win one-on-one matchups as we get going. Every game, that's it. This game's about one-on-ones and winning the game within the game, and keep working those, pass rush stuff in practice so they can come to life, on Sundays and Monday nights.
I don't think there's been a more damning element in the Chris Ballard era, James, than the lack of a pass rush. The investments are rich. They are draft picks. They are money, both. And yet, Brock Purdy has hit time last night. To me, that's probably the big, if you're weighing the roster, you're evaluating position groups, all of that. You obviously got big sample size that tell you the story of no division titles and 1 playoff win and 2 playoff appearances and all of that. But if you want to kind of get into position groups itself, to me, and last night the whole nation saw it, just a library quiet pass rush.
Not enough in that department at all. I get that DeForest Buckner was coming back from the neck injury. He didn't look like he was himself. But the rest of that group, what is your excuse? You haven't even earned the grace that perhaps Buckner has, given his resume the last few years and what he's played through the last few years. But Kwity Paye, can't find you. Latu did have the strip sack. Other than that, where are you? And it felt like, again, Brock Purdy was pretty much going through like a 7-on-7 drill at times.
I think he went through his progressions twice.
Yeah, he had a ton of time back there.
Let me scan back. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And again, when it came down to the other side of that lack of pressure, let's get the ball out there in the air and see what happens, you have nobody who can make a play on the ball outside of Cam Bynum, who caught an interception that was on an overthrown pass slightly. It wasn't even like, and not to take anything away from Cam Bynum, not to say it was his fault. He caught an interception, which you're supposed to do. But my point is, you all didn't make any plays in the air either. So, outside of a cosmetic interception at the end of the game, you got beat handedly on defense.
Off dude's fingertips. That contributed to that. We don't have a show tomorrow or Thursday, James, so I know this question would inevitably pop up. And I don't want to get full into the playoff scenarios just yet, but the Colts could be eliminated before they kick off on Sunday.
Yes.
The Texans play the Chargers Saturday afternoon. If the Chargers lose to the Texans, if the Texans win, then that would officially eliminate the Colts from the playoffs. Now, obviously, by that point, whatever that is, Saturday at 7 p.m., you will have done all your prep for Jacksonville this week. You play at 1 o'clock on Sunday. I think it would be hard to all of a sudden, yank the wheel per se and, have a massive 180 in shifting what you're going to do plan-wise. I still remain under the impression that it will be Phillip Rivers as the starter and Riley Leonard as the backup on Sunday. And part of me thinks that'll be the case again in Week 18. Maybe if you were eliminated, you'd flip-flop that, but anything, I guess, change for you at all, whether you want to go Rivers, Leonard, or the inevitable Anthony Richardson questions that will come?
Well, let's start with the end there. Anthony Richardson, I would highly doubt plays again this year, just given the severity of the eye injury and the limitations that he has visually. Again, I don't know what those limitations exactly are because I'm not in his body and seeing through his eyes. But from what I understand, what I've gathered, it is perhaps more significant than I initially thought, or others, look from the outside looking in might have initially thought. So let's just rule him out for that reason. And then looking at the decision between Riley Leonard or Phillip Rivers, I just think that until they're mathematically eliminated, you're not going to get a real pushback from Shane on the idea of starting Phillip. And quite honestly, after Phillip played, I thought as well as he did yesterday, I don't feel as worried about it as I did after the Seattle game. After the Seattle game, I think there was an argument you could make, like, okay, is this enough? Is this all we're going to get from the old guy? And if that is the case, then Riley might be a better option. But I thought Phillip played his butt off yesterday and gave this team a legitimate chance to win.
Yeah, and I was dead wrong. I mean, my hand is raised again with Phillip Rivers and the ability to push it a little bit more down the field.
Well, I felt like we both got a middle finger along with the rest of the beat when they first out of the game was first play of the game was a shot down the field. I laughed at that, honestly.
And again, there were a couple deep balls that looked like the old wounded duck falling out of the sky that didn't have. It was like, okay, pray for the defensive pass interference underthrow. Is that kind of what you're hoping for there on a couple of those deep shots? But like you go back to that opening drive, and one thing that Rivers does just unbelievably well is he gives guys chances after the catch. Like they got into the third and I forget what it was, maybe 3rd and 8, and he gets it to Taylor right in stride. Boom. There's a bunch of yak, first down. Even the Josh Downs ball on like the 3rd and whatever that was, 11 or 12, he just throws it to the right shoulder every time. And I'm not saying right, like literally his right side. Yeah. Whichever shoulder is going upfield or needs to be going upfield, he does that. And again, it wobbles. It looks a little odd, but as long as it gets there somewhat on time, it allows guys the opportunity to make a play. And I'll go back to the 3rd and goal touchdown to Pierce. I mean, James, that was a 3rd and goal from the 16? That is a give-up play. You rarely see teams take end zone shots on 3rd and goal from the 16. Like, that's a risky play, and yet the anticipation to throw that ball well before Alec Pierce is even making his break. And then again, if you go back, there's some unbelievable still shots of the catch. And Pierce, of course, just being Pierce. And as if I feel like I've been a broken record all year long, he continues to add to his payday that's coming this offseason.
Yeah, we were talking about it after the game, Kevin. Who are the winners of last night? And I think me and Stephen Holder were joking about how the winners were the 49ers and Alec Pierce and his agent.
Oh, easily. Easily, yeah.
It's like, after that, slim pickings.
Yes, well said. I'll give one to Blake Groupie, but that's probably where I will stop. But like those throws from Rivers early in the game, and again, it's just kind of some second level stuff, and they brought tempo. I thought ESPN did a wonderful job of Buck and Aikman silencing themselves when Rivers was at the line of scrimmage, and he sounded like a homeboy here at the ISO. Jack, is it Everly? Is this our dude here at the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra? I mean, he was a maestro at the line. It was tempo to get Rivers into 25 seconds of chess matches. That's what it was. It wasn't tempo to necessarily keep a personnel grouping on the field. Maybe that had a little bit to do with it. It was more of just, let's let that wizard operate at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And he was able to do that. So, again, from an offensive game plan standpoint, the Colts were bullish. They were adamant. We feel like we can do more stuff. We feel like we can hit a couple more chunks. I was very skeptical, and they did that. Now, when you get into the other Shane Steichen evaluation marks, it's not as glowing. But, James, I did not think the offense could produce like that, especially if you would have told me before the night Jonathan Taylor's going to have a season low 2.9 yards per carry. And you're going to lose your starting center on the second snap of the game. I mean, you were down your left tackle, your center, your right tackle. Taylor has his least efficient night of the year, and you scored 27.
Yeah, I had to go back and look, Kevin. 27 points was their most in a game since their last win back in Berlin. So,
well, hell, it's probably the most in regulation. Was it? Did they get higher than that? And even in regulation?
That's a good point. I didn't go back in that far. I was trying to, keep it short and sweet there, the late night writing. But point being, yeah, that's enough to win that game. And defensively, you just failed to show up. And I talking to Zaire Franklin, talking to DeForest Buckner, I actually thought DeForest Buckner summed everything up in about 7 words yesterday. I used it in my story. I'm going to pull it up here. And he was asked, how frustrating is this loss? And his response in full was, it's the worst because it's the latest. And you never hear Buckner be that curt or that short with any answer, but you could tell he was seething at the idea of having another collapse, and obviously after last night, having it happen at the hands of a defense that might as well have stayed at home.
Yeah, again, a horrific defensive effort. I think I want to play this Philip Rivers audio here because, and this has largely been the conversation, James, at least for myself and I think for the show in general over the last 10 days of you have 2 different movies we're watching here. The Rivers movie is incredible. And it added scenes last night that I didn't think were possible. It was funny. Troy Aikman gave him the Hemi Award before the game started last night on Monday Night Countdown. And Rivers joked with him. He goes, I got to be the first dude that threw for 120 yards and lost and get an award for that.
Yeah, we're treating him like he was, again, a senior citizen at the old folks' home. Say, okay, he won bingo.
Right, and that's where, the Rivers thing is cute. It's fun to watch, and it's really cool. But you also have the other movie that's holy bleep. They've lost 5 in a row. You know how many events Lucas Oil Stadium has hosted since the last time the Colts hosted a home playoff game? And that will continue to happen here?
Who was that listener who said the Hoosiers are going to have the last win of the 2 teams in Lucas Oil Stadium?
Right, which very well could happen if the Colts don't win here on Sunday against Jacksonville in the home finale. That's where I think it's you're just kind of torn in the day after a game of you want to acknowledge Rivers, but also this franchise is now teetering on the biggest collapse the NFL has seen in years. You said it to me during the break, James. How many teams since the NFL merged in 1970 have had a collapse like this?
5. And so the Colts would be the 6th team to start 7-1 and miss the playoffs. That is 6 teams over the last 55 years. Come on, man. When I put it like that, I'm like, whoa, there might need to be some changes.
Yeah, again, it's 5 straight losses. It's 6 of 7. The AFC South elimination with 2 weeks left and last year with 3 weeks left, that's not lost to me either. You're not in a division with Mahomes or Allen or, healthy Lamar Jackson. I mean, you're in the AFC South, and yet I know this year, obviously, it's been a better division, but it's not like Houston won 14 games last year, and you were eliminated with 3 weeks to go. I mean, 3 weeks to go. That's a long time in the NFL. And you're out of there. And now this year with 2 games to go, you're also out of there. That to me would resonate a whole lot. Caleb, let's hit up some on the phone line here. You said we got Courtney, is that right? Let's lead off here with Courtney on this Tuesday morning. What's up, Courtney?
Hey, what's happening? I got my brother in here inside with me.
What's up, Courtney's brother?
What's going on, man? You got anything to say, bro? Yeah, I watched. Well, I watched that game, bro, and that defense was horrific. Zaire Franklin really disappointed me, and to that deserve, I don't know if that deserves. He needs to leave because he spends too much on the podcast, especially with Jeff Teague on 520. He needs to get off that and focus on his game. And we need a better pass rush. Kwity Paye is not showing up. I don't know what's going on with him. And it was just a whole overall disaster, man. I'm so very disappointed, especially when Phil Rivers had played his butt off tonight. He really impressed me last night. Like, he really did a good job. And for all of that, for him to go out there and put up that many points, to put out that good performance, for the defense to just squander that off, it's embarrassing, man. Like, there's got to be some changes. They need to be some changes.
Thank you, Courtney, for the call. Appreciate it. Best to you and your brother. Yeah, the linebacker play awful last night. Jermaine Pratt early on, certainly.
But do you remember what you asked me yesterday? What was I worried about? Any of those guys being lined up against George Kittle or Christian McCaffrey in space. They physically can't do it.
Was it the first play? Was that where Kittle kind of went over Pratt and made a play? Like, Pratt kind of lost it down the field, and then Kittle made that play. Yeah, it just, I think we had questions about the linebacker position entering the year, and we continue to have those questions. It was probably the group we had the most questions about entering the year, and that's why I go back to the front seven. I mean, you are healthy there. You have invested so much. I mean, you want to talk first, second-round picks, whether it's Kwity Paye, whether it's Latu, whether it's Tyquan Lewis, whether it's DeForest Buckner. You obviously traded a first-round pick also for Buckner. JT Tuimoloau out. This year has been a very quiet. I think the thought there with him was he was such a decorated college player, he could come in here and maybe impact a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Same with Latu. Like, Latu and Tuimoloau were not drafted as projects. They were very accomplished collegiate players.
Yeah.
And the thought there was they could give you a little bit more early on.
They were supposed to be dudes.
Banking on Samson Ebukam coming off the torn Achilles was very wishful thinking. And if you just look, I don't have it in front of me, James, but I believe it's a top 5 money defense in the NFL. Like, even if you don't consider the draft picks, which, if you compare the starting 11 from whatever, San Francisco, for example, to Indy, it's totally different from where they're at from a health standpoint. And I'm going to point back to that front seven because I get it. You're without Javarius Ward. You're without Sauce Gardner. You're going to have some issues there. But to allow Christian McCaffrey have a night that he really hasn't had all year running the football, let alone one quarterback hit and 34 pass attempts, just horrific from the defense.
I will say this to Courtney's point, and again, shout out to you for the call. It is a bad look when one of your team captains is on a podcast on a weekly basis talking trash about other teams and recapping the trash talk you had with those guys on the field and what you're going to do to them and how you should be viewed or feared or whatever, respected, and you're still losing. That's not a good look. And I do wonder if that is something that rubs other people the wrong way within that organization, because Zaire is incredible story, 7th round pick.
I think it does, by the way.
All pro, all that. But yeah, I can't imagine that after you, for example, last week, you all lose to the Seattle Seahawks and you go on some podcast and you're talking about trash talking some offensive lineman on the Seattle Seahawks, and people are probably thinking of you as someone who's not serious because you've lost 4 straight games. And then you go out there and get embarrassed on national television and you lose your 5th straight game. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of splintering things that are going on with this team. And at some point, you got to look at these guys. And I forgot who said it first. Might have been you or somebody else on the beat that I was talking to about this, Kevin. This core of players, when you look at DeForest Buckner, Zaire Franklin, Kenny Moore, Quentin Nelson, whoever else, all these people, I'm not saying get rid of Quentin Nelson, Hall of Famer. But my point is, they don't win these games. They don't win big games. So at some point, you got to be looking at, all right, if it ain't with this group, then we got to figure out how to reload and move on and do something different. Because in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if you try to convince people to run this back, next year and everyone's a year older and Daniel Jones is coming off a torn Achilles, what the heck are you actually selling people?
Well, and also the justification that I've heard to whatever not making changes is you can't give a new GM back-to-back drafts without first-round picks. And it's like, in what way, shape, or form is that a ringing endorsement on Chris Ballard? Like, it kind of goes back to the combine conversation we had with Ballard of like, why do you feel like you're getting a ninth year? Why do you feel like you haven't gotten done? And those answers are not met with like this strong conviction or this like, oh, wow, that's a really key, important building piece that, you know what, maybe it might turn out in a positive direction. Like, again, if we had this conversation on August 23rd and you told me, hey, the Colts season's going to play out, they'll be eliminated from the AFC South with 2 games to go. They potentially could have their playoff hopes over by the time they kick off on Sunday. They'll have the biggest collapse you just pointed out since, 1970. They don't have their 2 first-round picks for the next 2 years. Their quarterback situation, I think, might be okay, but then again, the dude can't stay healthy.
The dude being Daniel Jones,
right?
Not Anthony
Exactly.
Richardson.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's probably a very important clarification by you. And yet, you get a 10th crack at it.
It's tough.
That to me
It's
just
tough
makes
to sell.
no sense. But again, with Carly Gordon, there is just an unknown element to it, and I think there's a little bit of like nervous energy. For 2 months, James, was it going so well that you got away from this potential reality and now you don't want to seriously entertain it? You know, and I know it's a very scared tactic to probably be a business leader, but that is a thought that has crossed my mind. It's like, you know, when you green light the Sauce Gardner trade, you're saying this is our group. And again, the Sauce Gardner trade, to go back to it, not only did you say we believe in Sauce Gardner as a player, of course, but you also said we believe in the quarterback position, unquestionably, and the direction that it's going, and we believe in the powers that be, i.e. our GM and our head. Like, you said all of that with the Gardner. You could look at the Gardner trade and say, hey, by trading 2 first-round picks and A.D. Mitchell, you're trading, 3, let's call it 4 players. Knowing Ballard, he probably would have traded back with one of those first-round picks. You basically traded 4 top 50 players in a draft for 1. Like, if you want to put the trade up on a whiteboard, what did you bring and what's leaving? But you also said 2 massive other things in that move. You said that Daniel Jones is a side-of-the-building guy. He can stay healthy. His quality of play is great over the course of 4 months of an NFL season, all of that. And then the Ballard and Steichen thing is what you said. Now, fast forward here 6 weeks later, the quarterback questions obviously are there, and you're in the midst of the biggest collapse. And last night's collapse, James, was so rooted in Ballard's building, the defensive side of the ball, the front 7 not showing up in a primetime game. That's root. I mean, that's been his baby. Again, look at the investments.
He loves the trenches.
Look at the investments on the defensive side of the ball, particularly in the front 7. And if I were Carly Gordon, that would make me pause long and hard today looking in the mirror.
Absolutely. And I can't really disagree with any points that you just made. The other thing, Kevin, when I think about the Sauce trade, that was after the worst game of the year that they had up until that point. I believe Daniel might have had 5 turnovers, if I remember correctly. It was 5 turnovers for Daniel, I think 6 for the team in that loss in Pittsburgh. And I remember writing after that game, and I'm not saying I'm some genius because many of those listening probably said the same thing. When you made the Sauce trade right after that, you basically gave up your exit ramp. If you were still going to play the whole let's just see how this goes types of thing, you said after his worst game of the year, we believe in this dude, and we believe that's an anomaly. That's just a one-off. And perhaps maybe it was to a degree, like we couldn't have seen the future and said, oh, this guy's going to get hurt and play with a fractured leg and tear his Achilles, all that. But even then, he was already, he was going to taper off. He started to taper off, and you were like, nope, full steam ahead. This is our group. We got this, which at the time I was with it. Hey, you got a window that's open. The AFC looks wounded this year. It is wounded this year without Patrick Mahomes, obviously. So here's your shot. But this is a results-based business, and the results that you have now might change the calculation of what you do moving forward with this regime, this group, because it is very hard to sell from a player perspective because these dudes don't win. From a coach perspective, I don't know how many coaches stay around after their first 3 years without making the playoffs. Granted, again, he's also had a lot of things go on. I don't want to dismiss that. And also Chris Ballard. You're in year, 9? And it hasn't been fruitful.
We'll get to a few more phone calls here coming up, 8 o'clock hour. I do want to get to a little bit more audio from last night as we continue to recap this. By the way, it's a balmy Tuesday out there. Hopefully this will create some smooth traveling for people this week here in what looks to be quite the unusual Christmas weather that we're about to have. I think one more thing to add, kind of, James, to that point, and it's something I mentioned to lead off the show, and I'll reiterate it here. Again, Carly Ursay-Gordon, we don't know deep down. Like, we don't know. There is little past precedent, obviously, with her at this level. But one thing we do know about her father, one of the things that frustrated him the most was when the opportunities, and again, there haven't been many lately, certainly 3 years since you were on Monday Night Football, when the opportunities for his team to play in primetime showed up and they got embarrassed, that bothered him endlessly. And obviously there are elements to the daughters that they want to do differently than their father, but there are also a lot of core tenets that he has that they agree with. And I am curious, watching that game unfold, particularly the defensive side of the ball, and again, that front seven, do they have the same level of bothersome, I guess, for lack of a better term, that I know their father would have, watching all of that unfold? And again, even if you don't play the embarrassment card necessarily as much as Jim would have, what about financially? I mean, we just watched this entire city absolutely come to life with the Pacers playoff run. And those home environments, James, that you were in many times were absolutely electric. And not just from the financial pockets for the Simons in getting home game after home game after home game, but like the goodwill of people experiencing that. And now here you are, 11 years removed from the last time we've walked into Lucas Oil Stadium in a meaningful January game. Like, even if you can't quantify the goodwill that does for your fan base, what about financially? Getting a home play. I mean, if anybody, I get why people are obsessed with wanting to see their team in primetime. Like, if you watched ESPN from 6 o'clock on last night, it is a walking billboard for your city, for your franchise. They gave more love to the Colts than they did the 49ers pregame by far. It is such an unbelievable advertisement for your city, for your franchise, et cetera, et cetera. And then with tons of red in your building, you get dog walked by a team that had not been doing that offensively all year long. Again, if this was a teetering decision for Carly Ursay-Gordon, does that impact it at all? There's part of me that says, I don't necessarily think a Week 16 game in year 9 of a regime should have great impact, but this has come from someone that thought Chris Ballard shouldn't have gotten a year 9 either. So, maybe I'm not the best person to ask. Much more on this. We'll get into it here in the 8 o'clock hour coming up. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, Caleb Zuber on a Tuesday.
Ready to find the right candidates for your job posting? Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you connect with talent that actually matches what you're looking for. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Jake Query here. Each weekday noon to 3, guests appear live on the Java House Peel and Pour guest line. Use code JAKE25 at javahouse.com to save 25% on your first order.
If you or someone you know needs help putting food on the table, that help is closer than you think. The Fan cares. We've partnered with local food banks and organizations to provide resources for those who need them. Just go to 1075thefan.com and look for the banner that says Find Free Food Near You. You'll find a link to Community Compass with with an up-to-date and interactive map that shows locations, days, and times for you to collect food at no cost, as well as other resources to help you through this challenging time. Find community help now at 1075thefan.com.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
It's Terry Stacy for Cynthia's Hallmark, and this Christmas, give her something she'll treasure forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana, and these gifts are gifts she will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the Lemon Lavender Collection. Pampering spa day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season, and you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
Little help. A little hope over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Harry Douglas here. And the holidays are rolling in, and if men in your life are struggling with their holiday wish list, tell them to add Manscaped to make gift giving easy and completely stress-free this year. From the beard hedger to the lawnmower trimmer, Manscaped's precision tools keep you looking sharp, feeling confident, and ready for every event and celebration. Right now at Target, get 20% off on the Handyman Shaver, Beard Hedger, and the Chairman Plus Essentials Kit, a must-have for a smooth face shave. Hurry up, though. Offer ends December 27th.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5, The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
This is the Fan Morning Show with KB, JB, and Jeff.
Rivers goes out of the gun, ball in the left hash. Three receivers go to the right side. Here's a flag on the play. Rivers has a free shot, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! In the back of the end zone, it's Alec Pierce, and the play covers 20 yards to the house. And the Colts score a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. 5 wide, 3 go to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Quarterback backs to throw, plants, looking, throws over the middle into the end zone. He's got a man for a touchdown. That's DeMarcus Robinson. And just like that, San Francisco has answered the touchdown by the Colts. Amir Abdul on the return for the Colts, rumbling across the 25. He may have lost the ball. It's available inside the 30. There's a penalty on the play. San Francisco's celebrating a recovery. It is 2nd and goal at the 2 following the timeout. San Francisco going left to right. Shotgun snap for Purdy. 5-step drop, throws right side of the goal line. Touchdown. That's Christian McCaffrey. He finds the end zone on a 2-yard pass from Purdy. 4 down lineman for San Francisco. Rivers out of the gun. Backs to pass. He's got time. He throws up into the end zone. And touchdown. Pierce again. Touchdown. Number 2 tonight for Alec Pierce, and it covers 16 yards to the house.
thought he was on fire all game. He managed the offense at the line of scrimmage, did some no-huddle stuff with them, getting us down to the right place. Threw it to the right spots every time.
Unbalanced line to the right side. They fake it to nobody. Purdy rolling to his right, scanning, looking. He's at the 15-yard line, throws across his body into the end zone, and that is a catch for a touchdown, and that is George Kittle, the tight end. Purdy goes out of the gun. Two receivers go to the right side. Shotgun snap for the quarterback. Here comes the rush by the Colts. He throws left, flat, wide open, touchdown. Rivers, shotgun snap, quick throw, and it's picked off. Intercepted by D. Winters, and he's going to go. He's got nobody in front of him. Down the right sideline, he's going to score. It's going to be a pick six by D. Winters. And that is going to give San Francisco 47 points. And the defense gets involved in the scoring party.
Obviously, we got to find ways to win, especially in November and December. That's where you win games, and that's where you make the playoffs. So we got to do a better job, and I have to do a better job of that.
I'm torn of how to express it because it's been a blast. It's been a blast to prepare and to go so you can get ready and go out there and warm up and do all that with these guys again. But again, the name of the game is not, go have a good time. It's to help find a way to lead your team to win, and we've come up short here these first two.
Only thing worse than the Colts defense last night is yours truly attempting to wrap a Christmas present. Caleb Zuber, thank you for that intro. I thought that Rivers quote certainly hit home pretty accurately right there. You got two different movies right now. One's a fun Hallmark movie, and the other one is typical with what we're used to from present-day Indianapolis Colts, certainly in the Chris Ballard era. Good Tuesday morning to you. It's balmy. If you haven't been outside, you'll go shirts. You might play golf on Christmas with what this weather looks like. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, and Caleb Zuber again filling in for Mark Dykton. Plenty to get to here as we dissect last night. 48-27, the final score there. James Boyd, one quarterback hit on 34 pass attempts for Brock Purdy. They didn't encounter their first third down, San Francisco, until the third drive of the game, and that was because of a drop. And Christian McCaffrey had, I think 2 games over 4 yards per carry all year. Maybe it was 3. And he was nearly 6 yards per carry last night. Just an utterly horrific defensive effort on a night that my hand is raised because, Phillip Rivers, you showed me something that I didn't think you had.
So you told me that one of the things I'll have to learn when I become a father someday is about the blowouts. When you have the young child, you're burping them or whatever, and you get that sound, a little rumble in the stomach, and boy, the pamper is decimated. I say that because the way Zaire Franklin described yesterday's game was with the S word. It was a bleepy day. And I was thinking to myself, that's true. That might have been a newborn blowout right there because this is unacceptable for this group. And I don't really know how you square that. And the scene I'll kind of paint for you all is you have Phillip Rivers, one of the last guys out of the locker room, and he's putting on his clothes and looks like he can go drive a truck after the game or something. And he's pulling on his clothes, and everyone's going up to him and give him some dap and, hey, thank you for what you're doing and this and that. And just that scene of him sitting in his locker by himself, and he's kind of like staring off, probably thinking about like all the million things that could have gone a different way in the game, or how his career has kind of taken this crazy turn near the end of it. And it may not be for something. Not to say that those are his words, but in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I know he will be grateful. And he said that, win, lose, or draw, I came back, I'll live with the results. But boy, it's got to weigh on him to know, like, man, I might be playing pretty good football right now, and it might not even matter because we can't win a game. And that's one of the things he kept saying repeatedly after last night's loss. We have to win a game. Not, we got to go on a run. We got to, prove the doubters wrong. We got to shock the world. It was, we have to win a single game, which the tone of that was just so jarring to me.
Yeah, and James, 1 week after your blueprint around Rivers couldn't have been more flawless. It was the exact opposite last night. The defense, an absolute abomination. And then I thought the Amir Abdullah fumble on the kick return,
changed everything.
I don't know why, but it felt like it was like a 10, 14-point turnover. It just...
Well, you know why? This is why I think it felt like that to me personally. So you turn the ball over there.
So it's 7-7 to set it all up for those that missed it.
7-7.
Kick return.
Amir Abdullah, who was great last week, by the way, has the turnover, the fumble, lost fumble on the... Yeah, it was a great play. That happens. They go and score to go up 14-7. And even though the Colts came back and matched it 14-14, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, boy, this is, if it becomes a shootout, a bad turnover because they got the ball come out of the half. So even if you had made it through the first half, kind of unscathed after that, you're like, okay, we get the ball first to start the second half. We can go to – that did not happen.
Mm-hmm.
They got the ball to start the second half, and they went down and scored again.
Well, the thought is – from Shane Steichen, and I know a lot of people disagree on this, the thought with him is right now we need to play from ahead.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for that.
So we're going to take the ball,
yeah,
but we got to play from ahead. And for that early in the game, for you to then be playing from behind, it just forces so much pressure elsewhere. And like inevitably, this offense is not going to be flawless for 48 or for 60 minutes. Clearly, we saw that. And you know, Jonathan Taylor having his least efficient rushing night of the season. Obviously, you're down several key offensive linemen right now. That is contributing to it. You know, a couple other things for me defensively that I thought defined the night and would be so bothersome right now in evaluating the defensive effort from last night, James. You go into halftime. Again, you've gotten your ass kicked in the first half. Well, what was the score at half? 24-17? 24 you giving up?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so 24 points you give up in the first half. Kittle is having a career night against you. And the first play of the second half is right back to Kittle for a huge chunk. Like, to me, of all the guys, you know, if anybody, Kittle did it to you on what, the first play of the game? Or the second play of the game when he goes over Jermaine Pratt for that catch? And then he comes out of halftime and he makes that play. And then you get them into a 3rd and goal from like the 9 later on in the second half. And of all the coverage bust, of all the breakdowns you're going to have, the breakdown's not for Brian Robinson to get open, or Jake Tungus to get open, or Kyle Juszczyk to get open, or Juwan Jennings, or Sky Moore. The breakdown is to allow Christian McCaffrey to strut into the end zone. Like those two second half plays after they have whipped you for the first 30 minutes. They come out, they throw it to their star tight end. He makes a big play in the first play of the second half. Just so fitting. And then the 3rd and goal to Christian McCaffrey on just a total breakdown. Not McCaffrey breaking dude's ankles with a hell of a play. Just walks right in the end zone to really, you know, I get the Colts had to drive there at the end until the Rivers pick 6, but I thought that was a dagger.
And this is where I need Caleb to chime in again because they scored twice on that possession.
Yeah, man. It's unbelievable. Kyle Shanahan was smiling the whole game because of how easy it was, and there's no greater example than on 2nd and goal, they throw to Jake Tungus in the back of the end zone, and they rule it incomplete. It was a great play by Purdy, by the way. Like, he was rolling to his right. It's a great throw in the back of the end zone.
32 seconds to throw on that play.
Yes, and he does it, and they initially rule it incomplete, and then they show the replay on the broadcast, and it's like, hold on a second. There's turf pellets flying up. Like, I think he got his other foot down. And San Francisco did not complain to the refs. They just got back in the huddle, and they're like, you know what? It's 3rd and goal from the 10 or 12 or whatever, and we're just going to go score because it's that easy right now. No problem. We'll just throw it. I think this was McCaffrey the next play. That's how easy it was last night.
Touchdown. Field goal, near 64-yarder, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. First 8 drives to the San Francisco 49ers last night. 2 sides of a movie. If you don't mind, Caleb, let's cue this up from Phillip Rivers' postgame last night. Kind of an expansion on the clip you heard right there in the intro.
I know that, you know, from a personal standpoint, it'll be short-lived. and it'll be over in a hurry. Which I told y'all from the beginning, I will be able to live with the results, whatever they are, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm okay with them and I don't care, about them. So yeah, no, it is. This week felt like a regular in-week mode. It felt a little bit like I've been here a while in terms of the preparation and the flow during the week, and again, it's been I'm torn of how to express it because it's been a blast. It's been a blast to prepare and to go and get ready and go out there and warm up and do all that with these guys again. But again, the name of the game is not go have a good time. It's to help find a way to lead your team to win, and we've come up short here these first two. But I've been a part of less percentage chances of getting in and got in before. So you'll certainly won't hear me losing hope here as we prepare next week.
Yeah, I need another hour before we break down a playoff scenario. I can't.
That's what makes you and Phillip Rivers different, man.
I can't go there just yet.
Phillip can't give up hope, man.
This from Connor. Half the game last night was enjoyable to watch with all the talk by Phillip Rivers pre-snap. But the other half was like watching the San Francisco 49ers have a walkthrough.
Pretty much.
I think Connor just summed up the night. I could sign off right now and just repeat that here for the next hour and 40.
I'm trying to think of moments where they actually felt resistance in the game.
Latu strip.
That's one.
Did they didn't
That's
punt,
still one.
Right? They didn't
No, they
punt.
never punted in that game. Yeah. What stopped them was the crossbar in the first half and when Brock Purdy slightly overthrew his receiver and Cam Bynum intercepted it.
You know what's so crazy? Not punting used to be the Colts thing. That used to be our thing. And now we have someone else coming into our house and doing it to us. As a fan, that's just got to make you sick. It makes me sick.
I don't know if you guys felt this way late in the game, but, for those that went to bed, the Colts are down 14, and they're driving. They have a promising drive. If I remember correctly, they had 2 timeouts and still had the 2-minute warning. Like, in a vacuum, your team is still very much in the game. You score there. Shane Steichen's not a believer in this, but some people would say, hey, you go for 2 there, try to get the 2-point conversion, maybe you cut it to 6, and now all of a sudden, if you get a stop, you have a touchdown drive for the win if Blake Grupe can make the extra point. I don't know how you guys felt emotionally, but I thought to myself at that point, I'm like, there's no chance the Colts are winning this game. And, the offense had moved it pretty well. Now, Rivers ends up throwing a pick 6. I thought it was kind of an unfortunate way to end a night that he certainly was much, much better than that. But, I didn't feel any sort of, I guess, optimism at that moment. I'm like, yeah, this game's going to end in a loss. I don't know necessarily how it's going to look, but there's no way the Colts, A, score the touchdown, B, get the stop, and then C, score the next touchdown. Which in reality, you're down 14. You got 3 chances to stop the clock. It's not that crazy of an idea.
It is when you have a defense like that. And that's the point I think you're trying to make. 440 yards. That was the most yards
and I couple with
had.
It's so much pressure that you continue putting the offense. The offense is going to crack at some point.
Yeah, you're asking. The way I looked at it, and I felt like this really early on in the first half. It was probably right after the Amir Abdullah fumble, and they came down and scored a touchdown to make it 14-14 after that. I'm like, okay, well, you responded well, but how well can you hold serve if the other side is smashing the ball to like they're Serena Williams? How many times can you realistically, any team, I think, would kind of have it hard if you got to go down there and score a touchdown every single time because your defense can't hold water, or as DeForest Buckner said, can't stop a nosebleed. So that was very telling to me. And again, just another example of this team folding in a big, big moment. I'm trying to think of the marquee wins in the Shane Steichen era the last 3 years, and what are they at this point in the year?
Yeah.
He's had big wins. I don't want to dismiss. Even earlier this year, you've had some key wins over good teams.
No, but I'd argue one of the biggest constants is awful December, January losses.
That's what I mean.
That you have to have. And again, this is a different type of it. Like losing to Jake Browning, losing to Taylor Heineke, losing to Drew Lock, that's in a different bucket. Last night for me was in your own building, prime time, first time in 3 years. You know, Brock Purdy is certainly not those quarterbacks, but just to get your ass royally kicked in the other facets of the game. And again, this is where I think Steichen has some real issues as a head coach. James, he has to be. Can you imagine how involved he has to be offensively right now with Rivers?
Yeah.
How is there enough time in the day to manage the rest of the operation? Whether that is defensively.
It's a great point.
Whether
Kevin.
that is, like, there's so much on his plate as the head coach and the play call. And again, he has accepted this. He has wanted this. And look, there are a lot of coaches around the league. San Francisco's got one of them that puts a lot on the plate. So I don't know. Maybe this is a Robert Saleh, Lou Anarumo thing. But to me, it's the inability for your team to seize the December, January moment.
Yeah.
That's been a 3-year constant. And frankly, it's probably been a constant before he got here, if we're going to be totally honest. So maybe that's more of a Ballard thing with the roster he's built than anything. But I do struggle with that with Steichen. Like, if you graded him as a play caller from last night, you'd give him close to an A, if not an A. If you grade him as a head coach, though, that's a totally different grade. I mean, how does your defense no-show like that? Like, it's like the San Francisco offense is not the greatest show on turf. And they're
you sure? Boy.
Without their star wideout last night, too. Or I should say their number one wideout. So that's the Steichen part of it that just I just shake my head at. The head coaching responsibilities, not the play caller, not the offensive game planner, the head coach. You oversee it all. And part of it is your team ready to meet the moment? Like Kurt Cignetti's bunch, they meet the moment. Every single time they meet the moment. That is a key part in, I think, being a head coach. And from the onset last night, you didn't meet anything outside of certainly the offensive side of the ball.
So here's a question for you, because we all, I believe, picked the 49ers to win that game yesterday. And granted, that would probably mean that we think that they're going to lose out the rest of the way. Does it matter the fashion in which you do so? Like, if we're sitting here today talking about a 27-23 loss, does that change how you view this regime or this end-of-season collapse?
It's a good question. It's one that I've asked myself. I think I've asked some of our guests here over the last couple of weeks. Like, should 4 weeks of a Phillip Rivers off-the-couch era have this great inflection point of how you evaluate him? I part of me thinks no. But again, James, I wrote last year at the end of the season that Gus Bradley and Chris Ballard should go. Like,
can I say this real quick?
I'm trying not to be numb to, like, my Ballard thought. Like, I've thought he didn't deserve a 9th year, so of course I don't think he deserves a 10th year after watching this unfold in the manner that it has. So, yeah, sorry to interrupt, but.
No, you're fine. I think when you brought up Gus Bradley, here's a scene for you, Caleb and Kevin. Sitting there in the press box, and you know how, for those who don't attend the game, actually, I should break this down, but where I sit in the press box, it's kind of near the elevator. And when you get off the elevator and you walk straight across, that's where my seat is. So I see everyone come through the press box because they literally have to walk past me to go anywhere in there. And at the end of the game, when the coaches are all coming out and getting ready to go downstairs, talk about Gus Bradley and his defense, the guy I see walking by me on the victorious side this time is Gus Bradley, who's an assistant with the 49ers. I thought that was such a funny moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wave to him, nice guy, but boy, he's probably thinking, well, you got rid of me just to have the exact same thing happen with, and probably in his mind, a lot more resources than I ever got.
I was going to say, that last part
so that was funny.
Is a key ingredient. No, I think the question you
bad
asked.
Funny, Caleb. Like, not the funny, but I was like, boy, that's funny looking.
I think the question that you asked is an important one because, again, like, who cares, I guess what my opinion is, how does Carly Ursay-Gordon view it? And that's why I go back to what I was saying a little bit earlier in the 8 o'clock hour, James. What really pissed her dad off was embarrassment in primetime. How would you define last night?
An embarrassment.
In primetime. So, because that's all that really matters at the end of the day is, does she have Is she bothered by it? And again, the embarrassment last night was not that a 44-year-old dude was tripping and falling and, it was the offense. It was the defense. It was a healthy front seven. It was, other facets of the game that didn't meet it. So it's one I've thought about. It's one that I've struggled with a bit, but it's probably fair to bring up. And coming into last night, I didn't get the impression that necessarily there would be changes, but who knows? Caleb, let's hit a quick morning check down.
The Morning Checkdown on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, 3 positives from you two from last night. Caleb, we're going to put you on the hot seat first.
Oh, man. You know what? I thought the receivers, Josh Downs and Alec Pierce, I thought their effort was there all night. And you kind of alluded to it earlier, just kind of the way the yards after catch worked out. Some of that goes to Rivers, but they fought for first downs. They made big plays. I thought their effort was elite, and I really appreciated watching that.
James?
Blake Grupe, I thought that he did a fantastic job as a kicker yesterday and quietly has put to bed one of the other issues that popped up throughout the season.
Yeah, and I'll throw Rivers in there. I mean, just from a positive standpoint. And I don't think I'm grading him on the 44-year-old scale. I think as an NFL quarterback, he played pretty good football for you last night.
Yeah, that was NFL good.
I know the pick six, makes it look a little bit different at the end there, but still, he did a lot. I mean, and again, guys, down your left tackle, your right tackle, and your center leaves on the second snap of the game. So we can get into the offensive line a little bit here.
So Phillip was going to chase him down there for a second on the pick six,
and
but
just
lost a couple wheels.
I did see he waited for D. Winters after the game to compliment him on that pick six. Pretty Phillip Rivers-like post-game. All right, Pacers, a hell of an effort really until the fourth quarter last night. They actually had a notable lead on the Boston Celtics. Could not close it out there in Boston, so they will have now the Bucks coming up tonight in a back-to-back. They are right around a pick'em against the Bucks. So late travel last night. Rick Carlisle shot me a text about 3:30 saying, hey, could we maybe postpone it? So we'll have Rick join us coming up next week on the show. But Pacers and Bucks in action, and they'll see the Celtics again. That's coming up on Friday. College basketball from yesterday. Butler and Indiana both get the pre-Christmas victories that I certainly would have loved for my team to have gotten a few days back. Butler all over the New Jersey Institute of Technology. I believe at one point the score was 17-0. Great balance from the Bulldogs in that one. So that's a pretty good non-conference for them. The Boise State loss will be one that definitely they would have liked back, but all in all, it's a pretty good non-conference here for Butler. And then Indiana over Siena. Nick Dorn starting to come on a little bit here for the Hoosiers. I know there was some big-time intrigue from him and transfer from Elon coming off the bench for IU. A little banged up in the offseason, so we'll see if that can translate to the Big Ten play, as now it's quite a long time off for Indiana before they restart the Big Ten. Much more on last night. We'll continue to take your calls, play some audio. It is the Fan Morning Show here on a Tuesday.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is James with Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. Out working during the holidays, I always love getting to customers' houses. They're baking, getting the free cookies or the cakes or things you're going to take home with you. Sometimes you're there helping somebody on Christmas Day, and it becomes a benefit. My wife's like, "Oh, you had to work today," and I don't tell her about the case of cookies I got in the truck that I got while I was at Mrs. Jones's house. So we're here if you need us. You're part of our family.
Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
107.5 The Fan and Franciscan Health present Good for the Heart Fridays. Listen to Jake Query every Friday to hear a heartwarming story from our local community. Jake knows firsthand the importance of heart health. Jake and The Fan have teamed up with Franciscan Health to make a difference, one beat at a time. Good for the Heart Fridays, brought to you by Franciscan Health Heart Center. Learn proactive measures to keep your heart healthy and schedule your heart scan at franciscanhealth.org/screening bundles. Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed or your money back. Only $59.99. Destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also destroy your desire to smoke without cravings, irritability, or weight gain, or your money back. Hypnosis January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville. Weight loss at 5:30 p.m., stop smoking at 8. And January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss 11 a.m., stop smoking at 2. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
JMV here, and guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you had done it sooner. Now you can take the TRT test for free at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. The place for guys to go is Center Gen X and Low T Center for TRT. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The testosterone is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. Get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. Guys, you're going to wish you had started TRT sooner. Don't you just want to know your level? Find out with the free TRT test at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Center Gen X and Low T Center. Get that free T test today. fixmylowt.com.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. 1 free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network, so you can talk college football with your BFF while taking Buster to the vet.
Hey, yeah, I can't believe he ate the whole thing of chicken wings.
And I can't believe we're staging a comeback. Touchdown!
Yes!
Yes!
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. For wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers, must be connected to impacted tower at onset of outage. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for full details.
You're listening to the Fan Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
4 down lineman for San Francisco. Rivers out of the gun. Backs the pass. He's got time. He throws up into the end zone and touchdown. Pierce again. Touchdown. Number 2 tonight for Alec Pierce, and it covers 16 yards to the house.
Certainly one of the highlights from last night. That was a 3rd and goal from the 16. And James Boyd, that might be the Rivers play that I'll remember the most from the 44-year-old experience here. We'll obviously see how the final 2 weeks play out, but the anticipation to throw that ball, and look, that thing was not, a vortex spiral by any means, but that thing got to Alec Pierce. And there's some great still shots of Pierce kind of, almost pressing the ball against the 49ers DB there to make the touchdown. Good things happen when you target Alec Pierce. And that decision, that often could be a give-up play, 3rd and goal from the 16. That was big league. Big league from Phillip Rivers right there.
Just an awesome play. And again, Alec Pierce catches everything. He's going to get a big bag of money. And
Can we get a stat for how many times he draws a flag, too?
That, too. You know what? He was whooping whoever that cornerback was. I think it was number 28 for the 49ers. I believe he was filling in for an injured cornerback. And, boy, Alec beat him like a drum over and over again. And I thought that, again, winners and losers last night. Winners, 49ers, Alec Pierce in his checkbook. Losers, everybody else in the Colts.
I mean, I think our audience knows that I've kind of been here for a long time now, but I wanted to write it last night and kind of wanted to take away some of the game. Like, he has got to be a definite bring back guy. And weirdly, I think the Daniel Jones injury, James, has opened up potentially some finances to either throw to Pierce or if you want to use that for, like, I don't think it's that crazy to franchise tag him.
I was going to ask you that question.
We
were talking about it in the press box last night, and I believe that is a serious option for them.
And if you
at
tag
least to
him,
negotiate,
you would put him into some big time wideout category. But like, let's be honest, James, they tagged Michael Pittman initially.
Yeah, and you can still negotiate, but it basically gives you like, hey, you're mine and you ain't going nowhere. I would not be surprised if they tagged him. And honestly, I probably prefer it just to make sure he ain't going nowhere because I can't think of anybody else being used with the tag. Daniel Jones, that goes out the window as soon as he tears his Achilles.
Right. Yeah. I think you're on that. Caleb, let's get back to the phone lines. Who you got for us? I know you've been feeling the ton, so just lead us wherever you want.
Yeah, we're going to go with John. He's been on hold for a long time.
What's up, John?
John, hey, good morning, gentlemen. I was originally going to call in and hammer home some points about the pass rush. And, you know, we talk about this every year. And behind quarterback, it's the second most important position on the roster. You know, pressure beats coverage. You affect even elite secondaries break down if the QB has time. Pass rushers affect every drop back. It travels in big games when you can have a consistent pass rush, which obviously Colts haven't had. But I want to talk a bit about the fan perspective and thinking about this time last year on the show and how you all are talking about the fan perspective and fans becoming angry and hopefully not becoming apathetic. And I was just thinking about this season overall and how special it was the first half and how keyed in I was for really the most excited I was to watch the Colts every week, probably since I was in sixth grade, and it's been, going on 17 years. And to experience that joy and to experience this pain now and this frustration makes me think that the next step in my fandom is this apathy, because we have this offensive play caller who can take a guy like Phillip Rivers off the street and have a game plan that can put up points, where you can sustain drives and pretty much give you everything that you want out of your offense when you have a quarterback that can actually operate it. But yet we're still in the same position at the end of the year. And it just absolutely sucks. And you think, what kind of overhaul do we need? Is Shane a guy that you can move forward with? That's the big question. But can you get an offensive mind that can work better than?
Thank you, John, for the call. Appreciate it. I think I got the general gist of it. James, your pulse. Fandom right now. Apathy, frustration, injuries are an excuse. A valid excuse, I should say. The River story's cute and it's covering up everything else. Where do you kind of go?
I do think there is a certain level of apathy that you're going to get after a while, because when writing my column from last night, when reading through the comments, whether it's in our YouTube chat here this morning or the text line or the comments on my stories, there are people who are saying, you know what, why did I even get my hopes up? Because they do this every year. And that's what is the scariest part about this franchise. And I wrote it last night. A once proud franchise is now this mediocre, middling kind of afterthought, in my opinion. Like, when do we think about the Colts in the grand scheme of the NFL landscape? It happened, I thought, for better part of a month earlier this year when they started off very hot and kind of shocked the NFL world a bit. And obviously it happened again when Phillip Rivers come out of retirement. But on a year-to-year basis, man, nobody is afraid of this team anymore. Nobody fears this team anymore. Nobody has faith that they're going to figure it out because they just haven't done it in so long. And those years continue to get further and further away. And those years I'm referencing are the glory years. I mean, people who bring up, the Super Bowls and AFC Championship game appearances and deep playoff runs. I mean, I was a kid when that stuff happened. And I do think after a while, it's hard not to become apathetic. And that is probably what the Colts don't want from their fan base. And any fan base shouldn't want that. Because when they don't care, man, like, it's hard to sell anything.
Yeah, I'll go back to a couple comments Chris Ballard had at the end of last season, James. And he was adamant. I would say arguably probably 2 to 3 things stood out over the rest. One was, he certainly mentioned the need to do some things differently from a free agency standpoint, and he did. But, he also mentioned from a big picture point of view, we have got to find a way to win games late in the season more. He was adamant about that. The other comment he made was in discussion about being close. And again, you were eliminated from the AFC South with 3 weeks to go last year, and that was not a Texans team that was, 14-3 or anything like that. But he was very clear. And again, the words and week after the season end make for juicy headlines of, close is losing on the last play of the Super Bowl. Going 8-9 is not close. Lo and behold, we sit here with 2 weeks left in the regular season, and I think there's probably a decent chance this team goes 8-9. And so those two really stand out to me. And then if I were, John, I think was kind of getting to this point. If I were the Irsay daughters, and I think to myself, here in 2 weeks will be the 11-year anniversary of a home playoff game. And James, just look at our state. The Pacers, a game away from an NBA title. The Fever, a game away from playing in the WNBA Finals. IU football, a Big Ten championship in that building.
Had to say that twice for sure.
The number 1 seed here in the college football playoff. Notre Dame plays for a national championship in football. Purdue plays for a national championship in basketball. Hell, Purdue made the Big Ten title in football a few years ago. In that time frame, if you want to, IU basketball is in the tailspin of all tailspins. They've won an NCAA tournament game since multiple NCAA tournament games.
Damn, we put it like that, yeah.
Since you last hosted a home playoff game. Like,
Dang, I didn't think about that. Hold up. That right there is the one that gets me the most.
I mean, hell,
because I look at that program like, oh, man, they haven't been anything in forever.
Right. I mean, Lucas Oil Stadium's hosted a swim meet more recently than they have a home playoff game. Like, to me, when you go through a list like that, it's embarrassing enough. But also, if I were the people in charge of running the business, the financial component would really bother me. And I get it's the NFL, blah, 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 but like having your home stadium experience a playoff game financially is huge. And also just all the goodwill you get. I said this earlier in the show. It's the first time the Colts have been on Monday Night Football in 3 years. Whether you hear Joe Buck talk to us yesterday on the show, or you watch ESPN's programming from 6 o'clock until kickoff last night, it is an absolute Visit Indy dream, Colts franchise dream, to see the amount of attention that your franchise gets when you're viewed as worthy of a primetime game.
Yeah,
and I'm talking, there's Cam Bynum on the field with Ryan Clark and Marcus Spears. There's all of a sudden Nick Cross getting a 1-minute talk about his season so far. The unbelievable story of Morgan, the cheerleader, and signing with the young boy Mark that Joe Buck had mentioned yesterday with us. Like, the amount of just incredible exposure your franchise gets when they earn the right to be in these primetime games, playoff games, however you want to look at it, that would not be lost on me either. And that's probably where I sit right now. It's just, again, I thought changes should have happened last year. So for me, I'm trying not to be as numb to like, no, Kevin, you need to give the same sort of attention that you did this time last year, because the results in a bottom line business are once again trending in that direction. But, from the dollars and cents That would be really bothersome, especially when you hear a list like that of all of the teams in our market that matter. Some clearly more than others, but all of them. You know, if you sat here right now, James, and said, of all the teams we talk about on these airwaves, the two most disappointing over the last decade, you would have probably said IU basketball, to your point. And then the second one you probably would have said is Colts football.
For sure.
I mean, everybody else is above it. Even Purdue football, as big of a laughingstock as they've been the last couple of years. You know, Jeff Brom had them at a level in the last decade that is a level the Colts would dream of getting into the postseason, winning a playoff game, hosting, you know, a home playoff game, all that.
How much do you think injuries are a factor? That's one where this year in particular.
Yeah, let's.
If you're looking at in a vacuum, and we got to get to break, but that's one thing I definitely want to ponder on the other side of this thing.
Yeah. No. I don't want to ignore it either. Let's get to that here coming up on the other side. This is the Fan Morning Show here on a Tuesday. Kevin Bowen, James Boyd, and Caleb Zuber.
Bowling, 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 keep them balls a-rolling. Bowling, bowling, bowling. Royal Pin.
Ring in the new year at Royal Pin Entertainment's annual New Year's Eve celebration. Countdown to 2026 with a celebration the whole family will love. Get to Royal Pin from 9 p.m. to midnight on December 31st for 3 hours of fun and family-friendly excitement, including cosmic bowling, a complimentary appetizer board, a midnight toast, and a whole lot more. Each lane fits up to 6 guests. There's plenty of celebration to go around. So bring your friends, bring your family, and roll into 2026 with a bang. Spots fill up fast. Reserve your lane now at royalpin.com.
Set them up, knock them down, send them flying, spinning round.
Royal Pin Entertainment, where fun rolls into the new year.
Royal Pin, bowling, bowling. Royal Pin, bowling.
It's Terry Stacy for Cynthia's Hallmark, and this Christmas, give her something she'll treasure forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana, and these gifts are gifts she will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the Lemon Lavender Collection. Pampering spa day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season. And you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the BullseyeEventGroup.com Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. Get your passes now. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
This college football season, show your school spirit every time you pay. Introducing college-branded Venmo debit cards. Rep your team on and off the field with custom school designs that let everyone know who you root for. Whether you're tailgating, grabbing snacks for the watch party, or celebrating a win, you can unlock 15% cash back at ESPN. One free year of Perplexity Pro and more. This college football season, score more with the Venmo debit card. Get yours now in the Venmo app. Learn more at venmo.com/collegecard.
Max cashback varies. Terms apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank.
From
N.A.
military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
The top-ranked Hoosiers face the Crimson Tide of Alabama in the Rose Bowl. New Year's Day at 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
You're listening to the Fan Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Shane, how do you explain that defensive performance given the stakes of this game?
Yeah, we got to be better. That starts with me. Got to be better. Bottom line, we can't give up that many yards. They scored a lot of points, went up and down the field. We got to get that cleaned up in a hurry. Our defense played great last week, and then this week, got to be better. It starts with me. Bottom line.
Shane Steichen last night after the 48-27 loss, officially eliminated from the AFC South at some point in the 9 o'clock hour. We will get to quite the interesting playoff scenario that the Colts still have with 2 weeks left. I can't get myself to go there, though, before 9 o'clock, so we'll do that. I do want to make sure I do this before we get to the end of the show. A massive thank you to Caleb Zuver, Mark Dykton, Eddie Garrison, Nathaniel Finch, Kurt Geralds, James Adams, all of our engineers behind the scenes, all of our producers, board ops. It's been quite the endeavor, moving buildings, new operating system. So a big thank you to people behind the scenes, because I know it hasn't been easy. And also thank you to our listeners, because I know there's been some hurdles and some hiccups, and we appreciate your patience. But thank you to all those involved. Love the new studio, love the new setup, but we've definitely had some expected hiccups, I guess, and so appreciate everybody behind the scenes and to the listeners as well for bearing with us here over the last week or so.
Yeah, Eddie Garrison, who I love, I'll exclude him from that list. You still got some work to do, some things to get through, some levels to get to. So
it's at Romeoville Kid on Twitter, Eddie Garrison.
Don't worry, he'll be choking me out when next time I see him.
Eddie Garrison and Richard Sherman, both in bad terms with James Boyd.
I'll say my love for Eddie Garrison runs deep. I remember doing my first show with Eddie years ago at this point. So yeah, we've literally changed buildings since then. So shout out to all the guys behind the scenes who make us sound good on these airwaves.
Eddie just bills Mafia James on this table here in about an hour.
It is possible
when he gets in the building.
I told you I was very diplomatic growing up. The weight class didn't help when it comes to fighting, so I knew when to pick and choose my battles.
I believe you. Part of me wants to cop out and throw the question back at you, but I think you asked the question of me.
Nah, right. Don't throw it at me. I'm sick of these people asking me the same question.
How much are injuries a valid excuse?
I'll go first if you want me to.
No. You asked the question. I think on the egregious scale of 9 years of Chris Ballard, is this season atop the list? No, not at all. I don't think it's maybe one of the top 2 or 3 seasons either. But there are teams, and honestly, probably the 2 teams most relevant to the Colts right now, i.e. your opponent last night, and the team that is currently above you in the playoffs and is likely to make the playoffs over you, Houston, and losing their starting quarterback as well, and winning without him for several games. There's an element of you have to overcome some of that. And when you look at the schedule, it's going to play out in the manner that you had a very easy first half schedule, period. And certainly you passed that with flying colors. But the question was always going to be, could you sustain it at some level? And as the schedule started to stiffen, you wilted. And, the injury excuse has always been a tough one for me because, James, have the Colts had some big-time injuries? Certainly. Technically, if you want to be technical, you were out of the playoffs when Daniel Jones tore his Achilles. Now, was he battling through, obviously, a leg injury? Yeah. But, you were out at that moment. And you've had pristine health at the skill players. What happens if Jonathan Taylor has normal running back health? What happens if your offensive line for 13 or 14 games was barely touched? Are we going to continue to go down this path? Daniel Jones has really never been healthy and playing at an acceptable level in his entire NFL career. Is that something I was just supposed to expect? what happened over the final 2 months of the season. So I again, on the egregious scale, are there other seasons there? But to say right now that this regime deserves another crack at it because of injuries and because you don't want to give a new GM draft classes that won't have first-round picks doesn't sound like a very ringing endorsement on why those people deserve to be back.
I think I'm probably with you on that one. I do think it is a nuanced conversation, but we don't live life in a vacuum. If this was just year one season, I could get with injuries crept up on you. You couldn't predict the future. The Achilles, the fractured fibula, Sauce Gardner in his calf. I have to ask myself now, are you playing again this year? Given the nature of those injuries and what we saw that lead to with Tyrese Halliburton, certainly don't want the calf strain to turn into an Achilles tear. But point being, Kevin, it's hard to find a silver lining or a certain level of grace we should extend this regime.
Well, and also too, and thank you to listener Eric for pointing this out too. Maybe if there was more like on the resume, you could excuse this a little bit more. Like, what if you had, 2 or 3 year run where you won the division a couple times, maybe you won a playoff game, maybe you showed some late season promise, but like that's not there.
Yeah, you know what?
And you have to search long and hard for it. Again, when I asked about that question in the combine, what do you feel like your greatest accomplishment has been as a GM? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he went back to either 2018 or 2020.
Yeah.
I mean, we're now in the year 2025. Does 2 months of good football all of a sudden say, let's go, year 10, baby, let's run it back? Now, again, these are all my thoughts. I want to make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you asked this question to us right here. I am very torn, I guess, unknown on exactly what the powers that be will do. But I just, sure, there's context to it, and I'm not going to ignore the injuries. But to me, there's just a lot, I guess, on the naughty list, if you will, that is hard to overlook.
The naughty list. Does that get broken out in the Bowen household? Do you use that as a little bit of a weapon?
It's a huge threat. Yeah, it's honestly probably my greatest weapon right now.
Is there an elf on the shelf in the Bowen house?
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah. Emily moved to, where did Emily? I saw all of a sudden I looked out of the corner of my eye and Emily was moving last night. I think she's on top of this mat that Nelly sits on, which I think will really rattle Max when he sees that this morning. I can hear him screaming, "It's gonna fall on her, Mom!" You would bring them back because of why? Like, when I hear
I think
that thought,
that argument,
people meet it with, well, you don't have your 2 first-round picks, so what else?
That's the only reason I can.
And I'm like, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
Wait, is that a ringing endorsement? Because
I don't know if it's a ringing endorsement, but I think it is already a commitment to what you were going to do anyway.
Which that gets into a little bit
That's
of the
a big commitment.
This, and maybe we need to have a bigger conversation. Maybe we should wait till the season ends. But, James, I hear you out on that point, and that to me is a little bit more of the alarming Carly Gordon side of it. And I don't know, maybe hindsight's 20/20, but like, for her to sign off on that trade was quite the backing of, again, not only Sauce Gardner the player, but Daniel Jones is your franchise quarterback and Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen in the positions that they are. And as an owner, that's a bit alarming. 2 months into it, that you felt like everything had been turned around, or however you want to define it, to make that massive of a trade, and for you to say, well, because we did it, we can't now go back on it. I don't know. That sounds like dangerous leading from me. I've said this quite often before. So much of, I think, people in positions of authority like that is you have to admit when you're wrong. And that's really difficult to do. Like, it took Chris Ballard a long time to admit that, well, maybe I should spend a little bit more in free agency. I've used this example before with Kevin Pritchard over the Pacers. It took him a little while to say, you know what? Sabonis and Turner, we probably should stop that. And then once he did, he found gold. So, like, that...
I don't know. Is that good business? If you signed off on the deal, if you said, let's do this, and then it didn't work out, let's get rid of you, like... I'm not saying it's bad business, but it certainly is an interesting move.
I hear you out, but again, what's the business that person has accomplished that you're then banking on?
Fair point.
Like, where is the
it goes back to that commenter you said.
I mean, when you get into the GMs that were hired,
the lack of resume makes it hard.
When you get into the GMs that were hired the same year as Chris Ballard, the man on the other sideline last night, John Lynch, the man in Buffalo and Brandon Beane, and the man in Kansas City and Brett Veach. You want to weigh resumes? Veach, Lynch, Beane to Ballard? If I were Ballard and I was in a classroom, I'd be running to get out of that classroom before those popped up on the screen to see what Kansas City, Buffalo, and San Francisco have done in the time that I've been GM. Much more. 9 o'clock hour. One final hour here before we head to Christmas. It is
only one of them won a Super Bowl.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Your home for indie sports. Now with even more ways to listen.
Listen on air.
Online at 1075thefan.com.
And on our free app.
Stay connected to all things indie sports, including the latest news, show blogs, and catch up on what you've missed with our podcast.
We're never more than just a click away.
Download our app at Google Play and on the App Store. From your home for indie sports.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hook her up this holiday season, shopping for her dream engagement ring or a beautiful piece of jewelry. See my friends at Moyer Fine Jewelers in Carmel, the city's best selection of fine jewelry. Tell them JMV sent you.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service? Need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust, like Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling? We'll find that independent American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
Hey, JMV for the best in realty. Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com, markdietel.com today. So Troy in Connersville was in a real estate challenge. Wanted to sell his home over market value and buy a home near his favorite hunting area with land and no HOA close to town. Miraculously, the Mark Dietel team did it all. They found the perfect new home at a great price and sold his current home in 10 days. For $10K over the list price. In fact, Mark Dietel is the only real estate expert I trust and recommend with the sale of my home. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Pick your move date. There are no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. It's Mark Dietel Realty, 317-755-4232. That's markdietel.com. MarkDietel.com. JMV here, and guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you had done it sooner. Now you can take the TRT test for free at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. The place for guys to go is Center Gen X and Low T Center for TRT. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The testosterone is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. Get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. Guys, you're going to wish you had started TRT sooner. Don't you just want to know your level? Find out with the free TRT test at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Center Gen X and Low T Center. Get that free T test today. FixMyLowT.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HAWK to 321321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321321. That's HAWK to 321321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
From the DriveHubler.com studios, this is 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
WIBC HD2, HD3, Indianapolis.
This is the Fan Morning Show with KB, JB, and Jeff.
Rivers goes out of the gun, ball in the left hash. 3 receivers go to the right side. Here's a flag on the play. Rivers has a free shot, throws into the end zone. Touchdown! In the back of the end zone, it's Alec Pierce, and the play covers 20 yards to the house. And the Colts score a touchdown on their opening drive of the game. 5 wide, 3 go to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Quarterback backs to throw, plants, looking, throws over the middle into the end zone. He's got a man for a touchdown. That's DeMarcus Robinson. And just like that, San Francisco has answered the touchdown by the Colts. Amir Abdul on the return for the Colts. Rumbling across the 25. He may have lost the ball. It's available inside the 30. There's a penalty on the play. San Francisco's celebrating a recovery. It is 2nd and goal at the 2 following the timeout. San Francisco going left to right. Shotgun snap for Purdy. 5-step drop, throws right side of the goal line. Touchdown. That's Christian McCaffrey. He finds the end zone on a 2-yard pass from Purdy. 4-down lineman for San Francisco. Rivers out of the gun. Backs to pass. He's got time. He throws up into the end zone. And it's touchdown. Pierce again. Touchdown. Number 2 tonight for Alec Pierce, and it covers 16 yards to the house.
Thought he was on fire all game. He managed the offense at the line of scrimmage, did some no-huddle stuff with them, getting us down to the right place. Threw it to the right spots every time.
Unbalanced line to the right side. They fake it to nobody. Purdy rolling to his right, scanning, looking. He's at the 15-yard line, throws across his body into the end zone, and that is a catch for a touchdown, and that is George Kittle, the tight end. Purdy goes out of the gun. 2 receivers go to the right side. Shotgun snap for the quarterback. Here comes the rush by the Colts. He throws left flat, wide open, touchdown. Rivers, shotgun snap, quick throw, and it's picked off. Intercepted by D. Winters, and he's going to go. He's got nobody in front of him. Down the right sideline, he's going to score. It's going to be a pick 6 by D. Winters. And that is going to give San Francisco 47 points. And the defense gets involved in the scoring party.
Obviously, we got to find ways to win, especially in November and December. That's where you win games, and that's where you make it the playoffs. So we got to do a better job, and I have to do a better job of that.
I'm torn of how to express it because it's been a blast. It's been a blast to prepare and to go so you can get ready and go out there and warm up and do all that with these guys again. But again, the name of the game is not, go have a good time. It's to help find a way to lead your team to win, and we've come up short here these first 2.
This Green Day?
That it is.
Gosh, I do love Green Day.
It's a great song.
I may even got a Green Day CD in my stocking one year.
That's what this last 2 months has felt like. You're just walking along a street, broken dreams of division titles and playoff berths. That's what it feels like, man.
Well said right there. That's Caleb Zuber filling in for Mark Dighton, Kevin Bowen, James Boyd. Friday, we will be back. That'll be our next show as we look ahead. And James, I guess, is it time to talk playoff chances? I had to get through the first 2 hours.
Yes, because Phillip Rivers said he's come back from slimmer odds.
Okay.
He might have been a slimmer man back then, too.
I don't know.
Nevertheless, Phillip Rivers, we trust.
I don't know if I can explain this in very simple terms, so feel free to interject if you feel like I am struggling with
I'm
this.
already confused.
All right. So the Colts have to have 3 games go their way to start. Okay, before we go anywhere else, let's start with these 3 games. Saturday, you have to have the Chargers beat the Texans. If the Texans win, over. Playoff hopes. Then on Sunday, the Colts have to beat the Jaguars inside of Lucas Oil Stadium. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jacksonville still is playing for the AFC South title, right? It's them or Houston.
I believe so, yes.
The Colts are eliminated from the South, but Jacksonville's still playing for something. So that game needs to go the Colts' way. And the Colts then need to beat Houston Week 18 in Houston. So those are the 3 games before we go anywhere else, before we start talking strength of victory, tiebreaker. Those 3 things need to go the Colts' way. If that happens, Chargers over Texans, Colts over Jags, Colts over Texans, that then gets the Colts and the Texans both at 10-7. So now we start getting into tiebreakers. James, they will have split head-to-head. They will have the same divisional record. They'll have the same record of common games. They'll have the same record conference record-wise. So that brings us all the way down to strength of victory. And this is where I pass the baton to you to explain.
Brother, I dropped that baton.
Was that the most group project thing of like, here we are for 2 weeks. We've really worked on it. Then I'm like, hey, man, can you finish those last 10 pages?
You know what's crazy? I actually had this experience in college, and I did not finish those last 10 pages. Went to the professor and told her, hey, this girl.
Is this the story you told yesterday?
No, this is a true story. It's a different story. No joke. I had a college class my senior year when I was graduating. We had a 20-page paper to write, and I got paired with this girl. We were supposed to write this together. It was some kind of like health class or something. And I remember messaging her and trying to email her and trying to set things up to like get this stuff done. And she didn't respond ever. And so I remember going to my teacher and telling her, yo, I'm not writing 20 pages. I'll write you 10. And I threw her under the bus and got out of that class. So I almost want to throw you under the bus there because I'm so confused still about this playoff scenario.
So we have the 3 games, right? Chargers over Texans, Colts over Jags, Colts over Texans. Now we get into strength of victory. And to simplify it, basically go through the Colts schedule, and you need to cheer for the teams the Colts have already beaten. Go through the Texans schedule.
Because that would strengthen their victory.
Right. This is like back in the BCS college formula days, right?
Okay, I got you. I'm following.
And you're cheering against the teams that the Texans have beat. That's how you have to look at it over the final 2 weeks. So, for example, the Colts really need to root for the Denver Broncos in the final couple weeks. They beat the Broncos. The Texans did not. They need to really root for, or I should say against, actually, the Kansas City Chiefs, because the Colts did not beat the Chiefs, but the Texans did beat the Chiefs. So on the list of teams you want to root for, Dolphins, Broncos, Falcons. Those are teams the Colts beat this year that Houston did not. You want to root against the team you just lost to last night, the 49ers, the Ravens, and the Bills, along with the Chiefs. Those are teams that the Texans have beat and the Colts haven't. So it gets very complicated very quickly.
I was going to say, if you guys telling me I got to cheer for the Chiefs to win the game the rest of the year, boy.
No, you want the Chiefs to lose because the Texans beat them. You did not. The Colts did not beat them.
Oh, it's the inverse. Okay, I got you. I'm sorry.
Now who's confusing who now?
I'm losing it. I'm losing. I had it for a little bit, but I'm losing it.
I probably could have done that in a better way, but I got nothing for you. Again, you could be eliminated by 7 o'clock Saturday night. By the time the Colts walk back into Lucas Oil Stadium.
That's how I operate my life.
One day at a time, right?
What's the next thing that needs to happen? So the next thing that needs to happen is what?
Where is that game, Caleb? Chargers, Texans? Do you have any idea on that? Give us a spread on that. Chargers are still potentially playing for the AFC West. So the Chargers have a lot.
They've won 7 of their last 8, which is crazy because they've had no offensive line basically all year.
A lot to play for.
I think Houston's it's in L.A.
What's the spread? Chargers by a point or 2?
First thing that popped up was ticket sales. Hold on.
A reminder, we get 3 Christmas games coming up Thursday. So once you hate your family, you can view that. And then Saturday, we have a couple games.
How long is it till you get a little tired of the family? Are we allowed to say it on air? I can say it. I ain't married. After about 3 hours, man.
So we don't have to answer that question. The Houston Texans are favored by 1.5 points.
Caleb,
really?
Don't bail him
road
out.
favorite. I love my family. I'm so lucky. Love my family. Love my in-laws. Like I said, I'm mad that Notre Dame lost to Fort Wayne. That's why Christmas is ruined for me.
So I love them. I don't always like them. That's a little distinction there.
Man, I don't know if you can quantify it, but it just felt like that Amir Abdullah fumble yesterday, James, just sucked the absolute life out of what you had created. So, and I know the score was 7-7, and it was a fumble with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter? Like, is that really that big of a game-changing play? But it just felt like once you played from behind, oh boy, you were climbing Everest.
Yeah, it did feel like that. And I know it's certainly something that you don't plan on doing, but boy, that mistake in that moment, especially knowing that your margin for error down the stretch here is so slim, it's hard to recover from that. And again, you're asking your offense to hold serve the entire game. That was not going to happen. They weren't going to score a touchdown on every single possession. Got off to a great start, and ideally, that was supposed to be a 14-7 start, not a 14-14 start. But in the end, I guess it really didn't matter because you couldn't stop anybody anyways.
I was a little surprised they changed up the offensive line as much as they did. I know we had hinted at that quite a bit throughout the week that was the direction they were going to go, but part of me thought you should have just kept the 5 that ended the game on Sunday against Seattle. I get that Tanner Bortolini got hurt on the second snap, but I mean, they moved 3 offensive linemen, and they only really needed to do 1, given their injury situation. Man, the Jonathan Taylor, how much do you just chalk that up to life with Phillip Rivers means the Colts have to run out of shotgun all day long, and it's like a draw play to Taylor, or there's no run threat at quarterback? 2.9, that's the least efficient day of his season.
I definitely think it's part of it because you can't expect Phillip Rivers to line up under center and make some things happen. I think he needs to see it, and that certainly helped him dissect the defense yesterday. But, yeah, no one's going to fall for a zone read with Phillip Rivers. You're not going to run that. You're not going to do a run-pass option with Phillip Rivers. And with the way that defenses are playing them, they're going to force JT to have to be a superhuman to get any yards. The only reason he got in the end zone yesterday is because Phillip Rivers threw the ball down to the 1-yard line. He just plunged it in from there. So, tough sledding for him, but yeah, for a guy who was in the MVP conversation halfway through the year, Offensive Player of the Year, shoo-in, none of that is happening at this point. I think that he probably still earns a Pro Bowl nod and maybe an All-Pro nod.
Hey, Pro Bowl announced at 10 a.m., right?
Is that true?
I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, I did not check it. I did tweet out last night, though, Phillip Rivers, get him in there. We know, in the NBA, they had it was like the one year they had like the all-time selections. It was like Kobe, I think, got one.
Oh, top 75 like greatest players of all time?
No, not that. No, they literally got like charity invites to the All-Star game.
Kobe in 2016 in his retirement
got one,
year.
Yeah, and like Dirk Nowitzki got one year.
Duncan got one.
Let's get Phillip to the Pro Bowl. He'd bring the energy.
Well, hey, Tyler Huntley made a Pro Bowl one year, so it's not out of the question.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew is the last Pro Bowl quarterback for this team, I'll have you know.
Does Phillip Rivers start week 1 of the 2026 season for the Colts?
Oh, boy. Stop this. No. No. My goodness.
I feel like just...
Is it that quick of a no?
Yes.
mean, you gave me a quick no.
I do feel like, though, he's been kind of talking like he wants to go back and coach his high school team.
I mean, let's be honest. His high school team's going to have what? Little Sisters of the Poor, week 1. He doesn't need to be back for that. Gunner's going to throw for 450.
Don't even worry about it.
Let Simon call the plays. Didn't we have Coach Simon on last week?
If Shane even tries something like that, I would hand him a box and tell him, get out of my face. All of y'all can go.
Anthony Richardson will be wearing another jersey this time next year. Daniel Jones, rehabbing the Achilles. Are we back to either Riley Leonard or Phillip Rivers for week 1 of next year? I asked that in all seriousness.
And I'm telling you in all seriousness to stop playing with me. I love, the older crowd. I love all the old folks to get out there. Nothing against, I don't have any, ageist beliefs, but no.
If he looks like this with 2 weeks of practice, what could he look like with 2 months of off-season work here?
Slim down a little bit.
Hand raised, in all seriousness, on I am kind of serious on the week 1 thing, but I don't have time for that today. My hand is raised on Rivers from last night. It just, obviously when he tried to get the true go balls, I'm trying to think, there was one to Downs and one to Pittman. Like, that was a wounded duck. But he got some second level throws that I didn't think he would get. And that was the part of the offense the Colts were adamant they were going to get, and they did that. And that, to me, is just a huge credit to Rivers and certainly Steichen as a play caller. I mentioned this to lead off the show. Rivers' ability to always throw to the guy's right shoulder. And again, I'm not saying right like the right side of your body. I'm saying you're running upfield. I'm going to make sure that ball is in stride. You go back to those 2 third and longs. On the opening drive, the Colts got into awful third down situations. It was 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. That's a disaster given Phillip Rivers' lack of movement. I believe Matty Bone has been quoted of, it looks like a mom 6 weeks postpartum watching Phillip Rivers try to move. I think when you've had 3 kids, you're allowed to say that.
That's crazy.
Again, that's Matty Bone, if you want to direct quote her on that there. But, you got in the 3rd and 8 and the 3rd and 12, James, and I thought, oh, boy, this is going to get ugly. I mean, this is not going to go well. And boom, Taylor in stride, first down. Boom, Downs, right shoulder, gets up the field, first down. Next thing you know, you're humming. And then he gets the offsides call and takes a shot to Pierce. I mean, you couldn't have scripted a better opening drive. And then the second drive, I know we played the clip earlier, but the 3rd and goal from the 16 to Pierce, no chance. And the margin for error is so slim. Like, you obviously saw throws as the game moved along where the window shrunk. And shout out to CJ West, the IU defensive tackle, getting his first career sack, splitting that double team and getting to Rivers. And obviously the mobility's there. And the pick 6 wasn't good by any means. But still, I did not think Rivers could do that. I was highly skeptical of this offense looking different than it did in Seattle, but it definitely did.
Yeah, I mean, boy, the night and day differences between what we saw from the Colts offense last week to what we saw last night, at least early on, and then the defense last week to what the defense we saw last night, boy, that is a hard pill to swallow.
And again, San Fran's defense, we talked about it a lot yesterday. On paper, there was an ability to get to them. Worst sack team in the NFL, had struggled against the run, down their top corner. Like, if you looked at that in a normal NFL game week, you'd say, oh boy, there's a chance there. But again, would this Colts offense be able to exploit that? And I thought they did. And again, I really shout out to Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. I'm biased here. I thought Buck was really good with us yesterday. If you missed that on the podcast, a lot of IU talk as well. That's up on the Fan Morning Show.
Check that out.
Podcast page. But, I thought ESPN did a wonderful job letting Phillip Rivers just take over the broadcast, really, when he was at the line of scrimmage. Like, I kind of nerd out over that stuff. And it was clear the game plan was, let's go tempo. Let's get Rivers to the line of scrimmage with 28 on the play clock, and let's just let him maestro it. Jack Everly from the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra. That's what he's going to do. He's just going to dissect. And Rivers said he actually screwed up on the pick 6. He said he had called out that phrase to Tyler Warren earlier in the game, called it out again, and the 49ers linebacker D. Winters jumped that route, and that was the pick 6 there. But that was some maestro stuff from Rivers to the line of scrimmage.
I just feel like you don't see that anymore. Do you? I mean, it felt like a throwback to...
No.
And so that's what was so cool.
Yeah, not to that level.
No.
And the thing is, like, it's necessary to.
Mm-hmm.
Like some teams I think would be a little nervous, like, oh boy, is that too much to put on the quarterback's plate? But like the Colts have to create an offensive advantage somewhere. Right now, they're not doing it with a run game. They're not going to do it with shots down the field. You have to have a quarterback throw with anticipation. Well, how do you throw with anticipation? You have to know what the coverage is. And I think that's what Rivers did a really good job of. So, and I didn't see that coming at all. We got a couple calls to get to. We'll still get to that here. And let's go ahead and hit a morning check down.
The Morning Checkdown on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Pacers back in action tonight. It's Miles Turner inside of Gamebridge Fieldhouse for the second time this season. James Boyd on the Boo Bird level. What will we get from Mr. Turner?
On the Richter scale, I'll give it about a 7. 7 out of 10. If that's the Richter scale, I don't know if that is correct.
You called the first game like a 10 out of 10?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But 7, yeah, you're still getting booed, brother.
Pacers almost shocked the world last night in Boston. They were a 10-point underdog, had a huge lead, and it got away majorly, though, in the second half. 13 points in the fourth quarter for them. Just an awful, awful second half offensively. After, again, they had built a great lead. They shot the hell out of it to start the game there. So back-to-back for them. Then they'll take on the Celtics coming up on Friday. Shout out to Hinkle Fieldhouse yesterday. Took Rosie and Max to the game. Ran into listener Michael and his 3 sons at halftime. Enjoyed chatting with him. Very balanced from Butler as they rolled New Jersey Institute of Technology. James, you've been to a couple high school basketball games this season, correct?
Yes, I have.
Does the crowd react to 67 points in those buildings like they did inside of Hinkle yesterday?
You know what's crazy? I haven't noticed it. No, I'm not at a high school game.
I mean, you would have thought Blue had just taken a poop on the court. People went nuts so much when it got to 6-7.
Was Rosie one of them?
Oh, yeah. She's doing the little 6-7. Max got Doritos all over his face, and then he starts doing it. I'm like, is there anything worse than that epidemic? And now, did I hear it's moved to 41?
Well, this is news to me. What's happening here?
I'm getting old.
Don't quote me. I'm relaying 5-year-old jargon here.
Let's hear it.
That's what I've been told.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord.
Trust me, we're going to go through all the numbers. We're going to get to Roman numerals.
This is the meme where we're like, Kevin walks in with the skateboard. Hello, kids.
Backwards hat on, earring. IU over Siena down at Assembly Hall there. It's a long-time offer, Darren DeVries and company. Nick Dorn, I like what he has shown here since coming back from injury. We'll see if IU can tap into any of that here in the Big Ten as they restart that. And did you see the Notre Dame USC series is on the shelf for the foreseeable future?
I did see this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm obviously biased.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. I agreed with Keyshawn Johnson. I think you've grown to know with me, James. Something I love in college sports, I love the entertainment of the non-conference on-campus atmospheres we get.
Yeah.
Like, go back to week 1 of the college football season this year. Like Ohio State, Texas. We had 3 top 10 games right out of the gate. Notre Dame at Miami. I forget what the other one was. LSU, Clemson, maybe. Like, I think that is what helps make college sports unique and really cool. And I feel like we're starting to lose more of that. Like, if you're a USC fan, do you really care about your team going to play Purdue? Or your team traveling to even, like, get on a plane and go play at Penn State? It's kind of cool. But, like, Notre Dame's got history with you. And that's rich.
Yeah.
And I thought Keyshawn Johnson was accurate yesterday and being like, why are we running from this? Like, I think there's a level of, Texas did not miss the playoff because they lost at Ohio State. They missed the playoff because they lost to Florida. Like, let's get through all of that here. Miami made the playoff because they had a very quality win over Notre Dame to start the season. Like, that helps you. That is what improves your resume here. So I think college expansion has really hurt the rivalries and these sorts of games sticking on the schedule here. Now, technically, I guess BYU would have been a better win for Notre Dame than USC would have last year.
I could probably get with you on that.
But, like, think about how IU basketball fans reacted to Kentucky going off the schedule for a decade plus.
And knowing how deep that rivalry is.
That's what I'm getting. Like, I don't want to lose that. And I get we're probably going to lose it. And I get that Notre Dame needs the game more than USC needs the game. I'm not going to be, ignorant to that fact. But I just don't like seeing it. And I would say that if it was whatever. If Auburn and Alabama were in different conferences, I'm trying to think of, like, what's a good rivalry. Like when Oklahoma and Texas were not together in the same conference there, or if ever, I probably should say, if Georgia Tech had more of that feel to it, I would feel that way about that. All right, let's do it here coming up on the other side. We'll continue to get to the phone lines, recap what happened last night. Colts and 49ers. It is the Fan Morning Show here on a Tuesday.
Your favorite song shouldn't have to wait for Wi-Fi. Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on Verizon's 5G network. Straight Talk, available at straighttalk.com or Walmart.
It happens every holiday. Food comas, piles of wrapping paper, Uncle Harold's asleep in the recliner. It's only $5.45. But then, Cousin John rolls in with holiday scratch-offs from the Hoosier Lottery. Starting at just $1, they're the perfect gift for making the most of the one time of year all 30 cousins are gathered together in one living room. Unwrap instant fun with holiday scratch-offs. Hoosier Lottery, champions of play. Must be 18 or older to play. Gift responsibly.
JMV here. Temps are dropping, and that means your water heater, softeners, and even those old pipes are under stress. LD Smith Plumbing can handle it all. Even gas line inspections before you fire up that furnace or fireplace. And don't forget your hoses, hose bibs, and crawl space vents before the freeze hits. Call my friends at LD Smith Plumbing online, ldsmithplumbing.com.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
This year, make Christmas cash with Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling, family owned in Indy for 3 generations, are names you know and trust. Bring in your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, or brass and turn it into holiday spending money. Whether you're decking the halls, buying gifts, or just want a little extra jingle in your pocket, cash is king at Farnsworth.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
This Christmas, get a bonus AI Essentials course when you enroll in any My Computer Career IT program by the end of the year. That's a $3,900 value. Attend classes online or on campus. Enjoy lifetime job placement support and IT certifications in high demand. Go to mycomputercareer.edu today and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Conditions apply to AI offer and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill.
It's Terry Stacy for Cynthia's Hallmark, and this Christmas, give her something she'll treasure forever. The most sought-after jewelry in the country, E. Newton. Timeless, elegant, and designed for everyday wear. And don't forget the classic Ronaldo bracelets, hand-wired with care in New Albany, Indiana, and these gifts are gifts she will truly love. E. Newton and Ronaldo are available only at Cynthia's Hallmark in Greenfield, and if you're looking for relaxation as a gift, explore the Lemon Lavender Collection. Pampering spa day favorites, perfect for anyone who could use a little comfort this season, and you've got to feel the lavender-scented Warm Pals. They're gently weighted, warm or cool, and designed to give that soothing hug-like feeling. Gifts that fit every budget for every person on your list. You'll find just the right presents at Cynthia's Hallmark, including gift cards. Make your holiday giving meaningful, memorable, and magical. Shop locally owned Cynthia's Hallmark, celebrating 40 years. 116th and Allisonville Road, 96th and Lantern Road, 116th and Brook School Road, and in Greenfield.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hi, my name's Robin Fletcher. I've smoked for 46 years. I went to a seminar in March of 27 and seen Mark. My best friend came with me. We both went to it, and neither one of us smoked a cigarette in almost 7.5 months. I took my 3 sisters and my brother-in-law and my sister's best friend, and them went. None of them have smoked a cigarette, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
My name is Jen Carpenter. I went to a Mark Patrick seminar, the Stop Smoking, and it worked. A friend of mine also went, and he still no longer smokes, and it was just amazing.
Lose weight or stop smoking with hypnosis, guaranteed. Only $59.99. Don't just cut down, but stop smoking once and for all, or your money back. Stop the cravings and stop smoking for good. Stop Smoking Hypnosis begins at 8 p.m. on Thursday, January 29th at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites in Noblesville, or at 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 31st at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up today at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
The post-career day press conference brought to you by Progressive.
Anthony, can you tell us what happened during career day?
I'm a biomedical researcher. The kids just weren't impressed.
How did you feel when your son called in the backup?
Embarrassed, and I knew it would be a fireman. It's always a fireman. It's cliche, but a crowd favorite. He had an axe and everything. I can't compete with that.
And will the firemen be helping your son with his science fair project?
Hope not. I'm literally a scientist.
Like it or not, sometimes you need a backup. That's why there's Progressive to protect your home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Have you heard the story that's about a guy who lives in a bank that is really close by? The Capital One Cafe is his home, no doubt, where customers bank and get their cash out. There's no fees or minimums on checking accounts, so your money stays. Most Capital One Cafes are open all 7 days. This magical place, as some people might call it, is where the Capital One bank guy says, "What's in your wallet?" Such a lovely tale.
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
You're listening to the Fan Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
I felt early we were seeing it good, we were going, and I felt like we could have a good night offensively, and in a lot of ways we did, but certainly left some things out there, and then obviously to end it like we did with the pick six with still a chance to get it to one score with around 4 minutes left. 53 made a good play. We had made that same check earlier in the game, and he did a nice job.
Phillip Rivers, after the game last night, for those that went to bed, Colts were driving. What was that pick six, James? Like 3:30 to go, something like that?
Yeah, just under 4 minutes left in the game.
So, again, the thought there is he punts that in, maybe a minute after that, 2:30 to go. You had 2 timeouts and a 2-point conversion. This is where you insert your joke about the Colts defense getting a stop. I mean, hell, you probably would have onside kicked it. That's probably how much faith you would have had in your defense at that point there. So, Phillip Rivers last night, my expectation is he definitely starts Sunday, right?
Well, your expectation is he starts next year. So, of course, he starts Sunday.
I asked the question, to be fair. Asked it, did not answer it, just asked it. That's what I like to do. Ask the question and then don't have to answer it.
But you just leave me with the grenade.
They only practiced once this week, right? Did I see that correct? Walk through tomorrow, practice Friday, nothing Thursday.
There you have it.
With Christmas.
Short week
with Jacksonville here. So, again, technically, the Colts...
Say, Phillip don't need practice.
Could be eliminated before they kick off Sunday. Chargers, Texans. We might have to get a Chargers chant going here before the end of the show, Caleb, if we can find some nice audio here. Uncle Mo's been hanging in there for a while.
Yeah,
Uncle Mo.
shout out Uncle Mo.
How about this? What's up, Mo?
Well, you had me hanging here because I was sitting here waiting. Caleb's mom and myself are sitting here waiting to see what he was going to say about Christmas and having the family around. How long before he checked out?
Yeah, he didn't answer that part. Now that you
there's
bring that up, Mo.
Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the insanity of repeating everything and all the things that went on. Shane keeps saying the same excuses over and over. The season has come to where it is quit at the end of the season. We never get anything done in December. The failures of the season were going to be 8 and 9. Heck, we even brought back Phillip Rivers, a repeat. And you guys had said something earlier about whether or not Mrs. Irsay would do anything after she had signed off. Well, you know what? Out in the real world, I believe that if businesses admit they made a mistake, they do that no matter what, and then they make a change. I mean, our defense last night, where was Jalen Jones and Carlisle when things weren't working? Where was the safety blitzes and all that? We just kept doing things over and over and over. And that's an insanity thing. And it just frustrates me as a fan for so long and just watching it go on and on and on and on and on and nobody making a change.
Well, I'm nodding my head at a lot of that. Mo, Merry Christmas to you. You've got an incredible son. This is Mo, the father of Caleb. He does excellent, excellent work. Hope the Zuber family has a great Christmas.
Well, I appreciate you guys, and Merry Christmas to all of you, too. And thanks for taking care of my son.
Uncle Mo right there.
Shout out Uncle Mo. Ran the Colts 5K with us.
On the hotline. I was going to say, he's got some history with James Boyd. I'll tell you what, for Colts fans that don't know Mo, I think they hear that call and they say, I can listen to him at the
I was gonna say,
pulpit.
Mo is talking to talk.
Yeah, is he doing a Christmas mass in a gym somewhere coming up over the next couple of days? I could listen to Mo.
It's funny too, Kevin. Like all my Colts friends and I, like he is the North Star. Like for all of us, how he's feeling is usually how all of us are feeling. So I mean, I think he makes a lot of interesting points there.
One of them that he makes is the Jalen Jones point, and there was probably 10 plays in that game where I'm just thinking to myself, I understand your cornerback room is depleted, but where the heck is Jalen Jones?
You want to go over these cornerback snap counts from yesterday, James?
Please do, because I haven't looked at them yet.
Yeah, so you did see Jones in coverage on George Kittle. I believe that was
got the one rare stop.
So your cornerback snap counts. Mekhi Blackman played 46 of 66. Jonathan Edwards, 45 of 66. Boy, it seems like Kenny Moore's been so quiet. 35 for him. And then you had, do we go all the way to Jones next? Oh my gosh, Jones with 4 snaps. 4 snaps out of 66.
How many did Cameron Mitchell get?
I forgot about Mitchell. 43.
See,
so if I'm looking
no
at this right,
disrespect to him, but Jalen Jones
Blackman 46, Edwards 45, Mitchell 43, Kenny Moore 35. Kenny Moore got the 4th most cornerback snaps.
Look, man, that might be a slot thing or different packages you're throwing out there, whatever the case may be.
Still.
He's got to play more than what he did yesterday. And then people were telling me, oh, he played poorly. I don't care at that point because the guys that you're putting out there, they're playing poorly with no resume. That's the other thing that was frustrating me. I'm watching them like, I understand if, like, for example, DeForest Buckner didn't look like DeForest Buckner yesterday. Coming off IR, you can criticize his level of play, but at least he has a resume that warrants him staying out there. The amount of times that I looked up and I was like, man, is that Cameron Mitchell again in coverage? Where the heck is Jalen Jones? The guy started for the better part of 2 seasons. You mean to tell me he's not good enough for Lou Anarumo's defense? That is something I look forward to asking more about. I did ask Shane about it after the game, and I'm getting fired up about it just because I feel like it's frustrating to try to tell us that, oh, it's a matchup-based thing. Bump that. The matchups cannot be telling you that Cameron Mitchell is better than Jalen Jones. Unless Jalen Jones is like the worst cornerback ever in practice, I don't want to see the other guy be playing over him anymore.
Yeah, I would agree 2 things there. First off, yes, on Jalen Jones, and 2, just more of Kenny Moore in general. I'd rather have him out there than the others when you consider the 4th most snaps. I get that Jalen Jones had some struggles in Jacksonville a few weeks ago, but still, it's not deserving of those snaps. It's not like the other guys are playmaking to the level.
That's what I'm saying.
To where you're at. Now, we get into all this corner combo. You are down Sauce Gardner and Javarius Ward right now. My biggest issue, and this comes back to probably a big picture point of view, because, you know, you can point to lack of division titles, lack of playoff appearances, lack of playoff wins, however you want to slice it from a win-loss record, playoff resume. I think it's a fair argument to say the position group that Chris Ballard believes the most in is the defensive line. And James Boyd, I'm watching a group with 7 draft picks in rounds 1, 2, and 3 in that defensive line room. If you look at that defensive line room, it's like walking into an SEC sorority house. I mean, it is littered with rich investments.
Wow.
Draft, I don't know if that was a good analogy or not.
That was good. I kind of like that.
You can tell that the Bowen household's been struggling on some sleep lately when I'm throwing that out there at 9:40. Was it good or not?
I think it's hilarious,
right.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. I see all these sorority TikToks. I must say that I have watched
funny
a couple
money.
of them. Yeah, funny money is probably a good way to put it.
It costs to be in those sororities, that's for sure.
And look, it costs to be in that Colts D-line room. Draft pick and money.
Yeah.
I mean, it is rich with investments, littered with major resources. And they don't even sneeze on Brock Purdy. Trevor Lawrence in a game with rain, the only reason you knew he was playing outdoors is because of the rain a few weeks back, not because the Colts hit him. And that to me is, you get into the evaluation of Chris Ballard as a whole. Again, I think there was enough on the win-loss playoff resume to provide a proper answer for you. But if I'm Carly Ursay-Gordon, I'm looking at the Chris Ballard blueprint that he presented me back in 2017 or 2016. I'm saying to myself, wait a minute. I sit here now 9 years into your era, and I think I can make an argument that the defensive line, given the investments, has been the biggest disappointment. I think that's another kind of jarring element to evaluating him. It's that D-line group, I would argue rather annually, has disappointed. And last night was the whole nation got to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, McCaffrey just gashed him. I mean, 6 and 8 and 5 and 10. And I mean, he hasn't been doing that all year. And Purdy, I mean, he had, shout out to Connor, who sent us the text earlier in the show. I felt like I was watching San Francisco operate a walkthrough out there.
Yeah, he was chilling. He basically was on an island. Pina coladas and everything.
Boy, Kittle's a dog. Kittle's really good.
I will say this, too. The couple of throws that were kind of in traffic yesterday, their players came down with them.
Right, and that's a wideout group that's not heralded. But man. Jennings, who's the other one that I'm forgetting besides Jennings? Was it Robinson, maybe? Mm-hmm. Did he have the first touchdown, I think it was? Hell, Sky Moore. I forgot Sky Moore was even on San Francisco. He made a couple of those catches.
The only one who does that for the Colts is Alec Pierce, it felt like. He'll go get the ball.
Where should your rooting interest lie if you still want the Colts in the playoffs? We'll throw it at you one more time. Fan Morning Show here on a Tuesday.
Hey, it's JMV, and I only talk about the best, and the absolute best, Big Red Liquors. For that big game you and the fellas are getting ready to watch, you've got to have the supplies. Locally owned and operated since 1972, and you can always count on my friends at Big Red Liquors. The fastest, the friendliest, the cleanest liquor stores in the state of Indiana, and I promise there is one near you. For that big game, make it Big Red Liquors. For the location nearest you, that's BigRedLiquors.com.
Take a break from the holiday gift wrapping and catch the Pacers on Tuesday.
Nemhard has it, picks up the dribble, goes to Walker. Can he hit another one?
Yeah.
Oh, my! He's got a career-high 21 points, and it's an 8-point game.
The Pacers battle the Bucks on Tuesday at 7:30. It's the final time that Miles Turner and the Bucks visit Indy.
Siakam sends it to the right edge. There's nobody on Neesmith, and he makes him pay with a 3-ball.
Get your tickets at Pacers.com/tickets. Pacers Bucks, Tuesday at 7:30.
Marcus Morris here with Family Heating and Air. As we're reaching colder weather, you may find yourself in need of furnace service. At Family, we specialize in solutions to extend your furnace life. Call the Fix-It team from Family. You can easily reach us at familyhvac.net. From our family to yours, have a happy holiday.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Food insecurity is an urgent problem, one that impacts real Hoosiers. You can help today. Gleaners needs donations. Your contribution goes further with Gleaners. For every $10 you give, Gleaners leverages their resources to turn your $10 into $90 worth of groceries for families who desperately need help right now. Your gift benefits local community members, and every dollar counts. Gleaners also needs volunteers now to help with warehouse distribution. Go to gleaners.org and donate or get involved today.
JMV here, and guys, you've heard of TRT, but you have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Once you start treatment, you'll wish you had done it sooner. Now you can take the TRT test for free at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. The place for guys to go is Center Gen X and Low T Center for TRT. The TRT test is free, not hundreds of dollars. The testosterone is pure, not compounded. Guys feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. Get in now for your free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. Guys, you're going to wish you had started TRT sooner. Don't you just want to know your level? Find out with the free TRT test at Center Gen X and Low T Center. Walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com. Center Gen X and Low T Center. Get that free T test today. fixmylowt.com.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football. It's a pepper
My
thing.
name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
You're listening to the Fan Morning Show on Sports Radio 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Boy, I must say, Caleb Zuber, you've been outstanding and filling in for Mark Dykton here lately. Caleb informed us during the break, James, he was going to come back with some Christmas music. On the list of Christmas songs, this one, it's about like the Colts defense last night.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Dang.
I mean, come on.
What you want, little Michael Jackson? Santa Claus is coming to
Probably.
town.
That
I mean,
probably
give me
would've been
something,
good.
man.
Santa Claus is coming.
I do like that song, though.
That sounded like Phillip Rivers scrambling is what he just provided us
I don't
here.
know, man.
Michael Badgley extra point.
we 2-1 on this one.
Gosh. Man, give me Joy to the World or something.
Joy to the World. Oh, come on. That would have been way worse
What
after
are
last
we-
night. Joy to the World. The sky is falling in Indianapolis. Haven't you heard?
Right.
Should we go over playoff scenarios again?
Oh, my goodness. Yes.
Caleb, one clip for who the Colts need to root for this weekend.
Go Chargers, go.
That's so good. Well, one more time.
Go Chargers, go.
There you go. Saturday, 4:30. You need Chargers over Texans. So again, those three games, before we get to strength of victory, which makes my head want to absolutely explode, those three games the Colts need to get to the craziest tiebreaker of all tiebreakers. You need Chargers over Texans on Saturday. You need Colts over Jags on Sunday. And if those two happen, then you need Colts over Texans in Houston, week 18. If all that happens, we get into strength of victory, and good luck deciding that. Can you imagine being the NFL employee that has to do that math?
And believe it or not, they do have someone who has to be on top of that stuff. Boy, I imagine what kind of degree do you need for that?
That and making the schedule, I feel like two of the harder jobs. I feel like I know the schedule is usually lined out like, okay, this division plays this division, but to get it all match up with like road trips and all that, like that just seems impossible to me.
When we talked to Mulaney Lowe,
certainly smarter than me.
What was it? Colts president of football ops.
Yeah,
she was telling
yeah.
us about the
Before the
overseas
Germany game, yeah.
preparation. I was thinking, boy, her job is very hard.
I asked this in all seriousness, James. We are going to get Pro Bowlers announced at the top of the hour. Give me your Colts 2025 Pro Bowlers.
Jonathan Taylor, Quentin Nelson. I think that might be it.
Warren?
Maybe, but I'm not holding my breath on it.
He was fourth in fan vote. Cam Bynum was fifth in fan vote. Again, that's 1/3 of it. Fan, player, and coach add up to it. Quentin Nelson, sixth. Nick Cross, I was surprised to see ninth. JT Nelson, yeah, nod my head at that. I would say Warren would be the other.
I think the only two for sure that I would expect to be on that list are JT and Quentin. Anybody else is probably a bonus. And honestly, after last night,
How many people do you
Pro
think
Bowlers
said in their car when I asked you, 2025 Pro Bowlers, who the bleep cares? And maybe not bleep.
I was about to say
Over under 12.5 people in their car said that.
I'm taking the over.
Yeah.
We got a good listening crowd. I'm taking the over.
Hey, who knows? Maybe they're in the Christmas spirit after hearing that electricity that Caleb brought us back in with.
Okay, this is, you're off for the rest of the week, Kevin. You're not in on Friday. This is going to be a sour taste left
Am I
here.
Am I Scrooging it up?
Yeah, but I mean, it probably could have been a better selection. I'm not gonna lie, but I do love that song though.
Tell you what, boys, I need socks and underwear. I mean, does anything say I'm old? I need socks and underwear.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, brother. You sound a little old because that's about what the rents want
Which,
from
I
me.
mean, I got gray hair. I've had a hair transplant. I mean, I guess I kind of fit the script, right? How about this hat, though? Are you liking this Santa hat that I'm rocking here?
I think you look great in the Santa hat. My mom is big into Santa hats. She has a collection.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shout out Lorna Boyd. She will be rocking a Santa hat or a Christmas hat of a different variety every day throughout the rest of the year.
I guess we should note, James, that was probably the most injured game the Colts have had all season. I'm trying to think
Meaning
of
like guys who dropped during the game?
Correct. Tanner
Yeah.
Bortolini, second snap. That was his
Scary play, honestly.
Yeah, that was his first missed time, I believe, due to injury, right, this season?
I believe so.
So Danny Pinter, the Ball State product, came in there. Fill me in. JT Tuimoloau.
Oblique injury for him, I believe.
That was on a kickoff. So the second round, just a disappointing, frankly, rookie season for him, I think it's fair to say. We'll see if it continues. Drew Ogletree with a neck. Boy, Rivers peppered him with a couple targets there on that one
Yeah,
drive.
but anytime you hear neck, get a little antsy there. Dalton Tucker briefly
Stayed
left
in,
and
is that
came
right?
in,
Yeah.
came back into the game. Yeah.
So I guess the two that we'll monitor this week, James, will be Bernard Ryman and Sauce Gardner. I think when Sauce first got hurt, it was always this Jacksonville game that was kind of going to be circled. So we'll see about that. And then Bernard
And Shane
Ryman
did definitively say he believes Sauce will play again this year.
Right. And again, just to clear up everything from a playoff situation standpoint, while the Colts could technically be eliminated by kickoff on Sunday, they wouldn't know that until like 7 p.m. Saturday. Well, 7 p.m. Saturday, you've done 98% of your preparation for that game. So even if all of a sudden the Texans beat the Chargers, I still would think Rivers would start Sunday, and you would probably stick with whatever plan you've had throughout that week. I couldn't say, I couldn't foresee just all of a sudden a huge flip of the script there. For those that went to bed last night, Riley Leonard did play the final 3 minutes. Nothing noteworthy. I think the Colts turnover on downs, if I remember correctly, at that point of the game. But just some things to monitor all week long. Again, the Colts, it'll be a short week with Jacksonville coming in here on Sunday. Reminder, we've got Pacers and Celtics on these airwaves coming up tonight. And yes, I will be out Friday. It is yourself, James Boyd, and Greg Rakestraw, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that will be coming up on Friday. So instead of 8 o'clock with Rake, you got the whole damn 3 hours with him.
Looking forward to it. Well, first time doing a full show with him. So shout out to the GOAT.
Here's my question to you guys as we go into Christmas. I know the NFL is trying to make Christmas their day. Are you guys watching the NFL or the NBA on Christmas? I'm an NBA guy personally because that's just what I grew up on. But I feel like the NFL games this year, if you look at them on Christmas, not very good. So I don't know what you guys are watching on Christmas Day, but I'm curious.
Let's rattle off that Christmas slate here, James, before you go ahead and chime in on that one. So 3 games: Cowboys, Commanders, Lions, Vikings, Broncos, Chiefs.
Yuck, yuck, and yuck. You weren't lying, Caleb.
Lions, Vikings, is that like a battle for a playoff spot? 8-7, 7-8?
I kind of didn't know the Vikings were 7-8. I don't know what that says
That's
about
news to me.
but I'm kind of shocked.
And then we got the 2 games Saturday. James, what are you doing viewing-wise?
I'm a degenerate. I'll be watching the NFL, most likely.
Wow. James, I didn't have that for you. I'm
Well,
surprised.
Is LeBron playing? I'll watch LeBron or Steph
Yeah.
Curry if they're playing.
I think they're like the 5 o'clock,
Yeah,
8:30
so I'll probably switch
slate.
over for like my GOATs of this era. So if it's Kevin Durant, LeBron, or Steph Curry, I'll tune in. But yeah, other than that, unfortunately, they've got me hooked. I am the guy who watches the horrible NFL game now.
Okay.
You guys need to spend more time with your family.
Oh, here we go.
Man, I don't have time for the NFL games, man. Who cares?
He's
Who
only
cares?
saying this because Nelly doesn't have a choice right now.
Who cares that Notre Dame basketball lost to Fort Wayne, man? It's about being grateful and cherish love and the memories.
Not going golfing?
Gosh, I wish. Man, how great would that be? I did see multiple golf courses are open right now. James Boyd, thank you. Caleb Zuber, thank you as well.
I could watch Nelly for a little bit.
Imagine James.
How quickly did he laugh at that? Oh my gosh!
Changing a
I'm
blowout
offended.
here. If you missed it, Joe Buck was on our podcast. Was on the show yesterday. A lot of stuff I don't think is very time sensitive, so check that out on the podcast. Everybody have an awesome Christmas. If we don't talk to you for whatever till New Year's, Happy New Year as well. Thank you to all of our producers, behind the scenes people. Merry Christmas, safe travels, everybody.
Baseball great Lou Gehrig was known as the Iron Horse for playing 2,130 consecutive games. But it was his reaction to his greatest challenge, the fatal diagnosis of ALS, that made Gehrig a household name and a beacon of strength for all those facing the disease. The Live Like Lou Foundation honors Lou's legacy and inspires hope for a world where ALS is no longer fatal. Donate or volunteer today at livelikeLou.org.
Hi, I'm Lexi, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. We'll help you find last-minute gifts that don't look last-minute, even if you're still planning to propose. At Shane Company, we'll show you perfect gifts at perfect prices, in stock and ready to give. Like hand-matched diamond studs, 14-karat gold chains, or the ultimate gift, a beautiful engagement ring. We have longer store hours, so you can skip the crowds and shop when you want, or visit us at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
It's JMV for BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. All you can eat, all you can drink. Before each Colts home game, make your game day experience the best it can be. Entertained inside the Bullseye Event Center and the great food from celebrity chef Kelsey Murphy. That and more, and combo up your passes with tickets to the game. That's the Bullseye Event.